with the boat and what occurs next. It is
Does the
assumed
father-
that you're... What's that?
Before we start, does the father want to log back in and change his name?
Oaken, you're not Oaken. You're Father Murphy. You need to change.
No,
your
it's the only
name.
login I have. I'm not changing it.
All right, it's not a big deal.
No, it's not.
When you come up in conversation in my house, it's like, oh, I was talking to Oaken today. My wife thought I really knew a guy named Oaken.
No,
No,
I like it that way.
It's the only login I have, and I'm going to keep it that way. Okay?
All good, man.
It's not
All
a
good.
big deal.
Do whatever. No, it is not.
Okay, so there's
Big deals
there's
here.
approximately 2 weeks are going to pass between your last adventure and when the next thing kicks. It is assumed that you're moving in as much as you are to the brownstones. Let me know if you want to accomplish anything specific in those time frames.
Research this retro clone that I've heard about. Why don't I have anything to worry about, Mike?
And why is the lobstrosities in the bay? I think they're protecting something under the water. There's a secret fortress somewhere.
It is important that it is not a bay. It is a very large river that's going to lead to the Great Lakes, but it is a river here, and that's going to become important later. Not a bay.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. We're in Detroit.
We are indeed.
Yeah.
Chris McWilliams, look him up on Facebook. I've been working with him since the Ward days. I've known the guy 25 years as a Facebook friend. It is this complete self-indulgent exercise in character generation. It's not a game. But Chris is super passionate about it. You have nothing to worry about.
Oh, okay, it's really crunchy.
It's his passion project, and I'm glad he enjoys it, but it's not ever going anywhere.
Okay, fantastic.
But I'm sorry.
Okay, but
Black Raven-
lobstrosities. We were talking about lobstrosities.
Yes. The lobstrosities, are you researching them? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I Googled it. They said they're don't exist.
So lobstrosities have become an urban legend. And there's all of these kind of bad pixelated or super grainy photos that people have got of them. But they started appearing 10, 15 years ago in the river. And some of these things, like disappearances, have been blamed on them. Nice. Oaken, yeah. Nice Justice League image on the back, though. But so no one's saying they don't exist. It is quite possible they are something new. And you can even find some quite serious cryptozoological papers that, even though there'd be no way for them to possibly get to right outside of Detroit or why they'd go there, it's always been speculated that crustaceans that large could live at the bottom of the ocean. What they're doing here, no one has any idea.
Okay. We're on a lake, right? Detroit's on a lake.
You are on a river.
The Detroit River.
There's a
As the river runs between them to the lakes.
I should see a map. See it.
My Detroit geography is a little lacking.
Yep.
Can I use the
on the border of Canada?
How about this?
Lake Erie, maybe?
Tell me if this is.
Yeah, it's where Lake Erie and Michigan join, and Canada is right there.
I would like to be able to.
No, not
crib.
Erie, Ohio. Yeah.
Would like to be able to crib Racer City with my Millennium City source book because it's
Just
Detroit.
look up Motor City, you'll find it.
I was wondering if that's going to be close compatible enough.
So when you look at, give me 1 sec, I'm playing with my zooms on it now. For point of view of the game,
Yeah, that's it.
you see the island? That's Bell Island?
Yeah, they used to do IndyCar right there.
Yep. And that does lead right out to one of the Great Lakes. I believe that's Erie. I'm not sure. I'm checking it now.
Oh, okay. Now that I got a map, I can see it. Yeah, with my wealth, I think I'm going to do a little river investigation. Maybe rent a tug and do some soundings around the island.
Yeah, the river's between Lake St. Clair and Lake Erie.
Thank you.
All right, that's
Lake
it.
St. Clair. Good call. And it's one of those weird places where the U.S. is north of Canada.
Yep,
Yeah, you go
that's right.
south, they go to the strip joints in Windsor.
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
That's
So
what I heard.
now I gave you guys all a wealth rating I'm messing around with for purposes of this game. You guys all cool with the wealth ratings? There's some connections that are implied in them.
Sure.
Use those as they make sense. Because the wealth system is really out of whack in 80s style in the
Oh, I
existing
know what I'll
rules.
do.
What's that?
Yeah,
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do for the 2
Okay.
weeks.
we just keep it points-wise the same.
So if you want to change your wealth, let me know. You can raise it. You can raise it. It just costs a certain number of points. We'll figure it out at the time. But I've removed wealth ratings from point of view of this game. You each have a wealth rating that I sent you in your Discord chat.
But as far as our points that it originally cost us, that's just where we're at. You're just handling it different. Okay,
I gave you those ratings based on the points you spent.
got it.
Okay. So Black Raven can set up a boat and
Yeah, I rethought that.
Okay.
I think it'd be more fruitful to go down and check the shipping logs because of course we're importing all sorts of cheap Chinese goods to sell here in the United States.
no politics, Jay.
And if there's what am I looking for? I guess we're
There's
looking
no
for
cheap Chinese goods going to the Great Lakes. This is where they move coke and coal and steel ore.
If any of you know Detroit well, I'm taking some real liberties with it. So if you know what's going on up there, I'm making some of this shit up whole cloth and it's not going to match real Detroit.
I just,
Yep.
in preparation, I just rewatched Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 to get a good feel of street level crime in Detroit.
Okay. So I'm sorry, Black Raven is going to check what now, the logs?
I guess shipping traffic, right? I do a lot of shipping traffic myself,
Yep.
my business, so maybe I can and looking for anything manifests of stuff going to Belle Island.
And your detective is
shipping
what?
magnet? Are you
What
a
is your
shipping
thing?
magnet?
What's your detective skill, Jay?
7.
7. You need a 9 to get some successes. You need a 18 to get full success.
Let's get the D10s that I'm going to battle with today. Oh yeah, look at this old school.
Anthony, is that a fabric paint kit behind your shoulder?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Is this what we're looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For painting my miniatures.
Oh, you paint miniatures. I've seen people that do fabric paint. Then that's what they use, right?
Yeah, fabric paint's kind of gluey, so it sticks to like a T-shirt, cotton or polyester.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's a game paint.
It makes it easier you do it from the bottle, you put it on the brush.
Jay, would you roll?
Wet palette.
Wet palette with a little paintbrush, put it on it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't have the hands for that. I know some people have that kind of talent. I don't.
Well, I do it when I detail like cars and stuff, my own things.
You're also a carpenter. I mean, Jay, waiting in your roll?
It's in the chat. You see the chat quickly?
Sure. Sorry, I didn't know that screen up.
I'm on full screen. I didn't do the chat.
Oh, that's nice.
In where? Dice room? Oh.
Full screen. Hide chat.
Rolled an 11.
Okay. Rolled an 11. So
Yeah, no, here in StreamYard there is a chat. There's 11.
Oh, in the StreamYard chat.
Yeah. That's what we're in. We're not in the other one.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do it on full screen mode though.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta do it on compact mode.
So you spend a couple of weeks. Take your time doing this, and there is immense complexity here. You discover a dozen or more multinationals are involved in blind business ventures, things going on. There is a lot of things being shipped back and forth, some of which are miscellaneous. You spot a couple of things that if you dug into them, there's probably tax dodges. And the way that it's set up with the free enterprise zone here, there is a decent chance that there's things being smuggled inside other things. It's not that there's a specific result you find 10,000 results that could all be meaningful.
Ah, Jesus.
Well, it's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Guardian, what are you doing with your time?
Most of my time was trying to spend moving my family into the building and making sure that everything's set up for their special needs.
I remember your brother being disabled. Who else is involved in the family?
That was it. I was being vague for everyone else.
Okay. All well and good. Just kind of I'm backing from our just kind of chatter to get to the last set of actual game images. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you've got no problem setting it up. The houses are designed, and it turns out, and this is something that you guys are going to, that the original Detroit 5 were Jax, Goliath, Demo, Mojo, and Maker.
Give me that again.
Jax, Jacks, Goliath, Demo, Mojo, and Maker.
Mojo was the name of my friend's sailboat, but he died years ago.
It's a cool name.
What happened to him?
You remember Kim Stout? Yeah, he died of leukemia when he was 6'2".
The Detroit 5 were they called? The original
Yep.
Detroit 5?
Yep.
What happened to him?
They're still piecing that together. It was a large piece of destruction in the old waterfront. They haven't even found all the bodies. I mean, there was a major blowout. It involved
How many years ago?
Oh, less than 6 months. You're here to replace them.
Yeah, Jax, Goliath, and Mojo, but I missed two of the names.
Jax, Goliath, Demo, Mojo, and Maker.
And we were asked by who? Who requested
You were
us to
asked by, and I posted his business card.
Antonio Walton.
Antonio Walton from the Racer City Improvement Society.
Antonio, don't call me Antoine Walton.
Yo, Tony, what's up, Tony?
But anyway, Guardian, so you have the house that was originally owned by Maker, who was apparently something of a gadget type. So there's industrial strength power feeds in the basement. There's milling machines. There's a 3D printer. Because apparently you inherited a gadgetry workshop from the prior Maker. But yeah, your brother comes in and you have to do some things to staircases because no one was thinking about wheelchairs and all of that. But that's all things that are either in process or getting done. They're either getting done quickly or are done.
Yeah, and various lab equipment and whatnot that's being brought into bedroom number 3.
Yep. Oh yeah. So that's in process. Much of it is there. Not all of it's there. You also still haven't figured out everything you've inherited yet. Anything else before the game commences? Any other research? Any other things going on?
Do we have a headquarters?
Sort of. So the Racer City Improvement Society is the back corridor out of your houses, leads to each of your garages, and you each have a garage. It also leads into the back of the RCIS.
Well, I live at a church. Is that near a church? Because that's where I live.
So the big cathedral at St. Patrick's is going to play a lot in this next scene. But you were invited there, and they just thought you were amazing. After the sequence on the riverfront, they love the fact that they have a combat priest with YouTube hits. But yes, you are relatively close to the St. Patrick's Cathedral, and they love to see you coming.
All right. Well, I'll go up front and see what the people are doing.
Okay. Well, hang on. Let me give me a chance to get it started. I just want to make sure that you guys had your time to do the 2 weeks thing.
It's okay. I broke out Big Red, so I'm good.
Okay. And Father Murphy, you're just in the middle of changing out of some a dirty priest cassock into a clean priest cassock because you've been down at the they call the soup kitchen here the steam kitchen for some reason, and it's put on by St. Patrick's, and you've been out feeding the homeless, and you're just cleaning up and all of that, and you get a call on the intercom from the RCIS.
RCIS.
Racer City Improvement Society. That's Antonio, not Anton.
I'm not
Yeah,
getting
I'm all about that. I'm all about improving the city.
Yep.
And raising for charity is for charity.
So, hi, Father Murphy. This is Meredith, and I'm in the office. I think that there's a little girl here that's looking for the priest, and like the superhero priest, and like, would you come talk to her and stuff?
Oh yes, certainly. I'm on my way.
Okay. So you get over to the RCIS office, and there is a this girl looks dirty, and she got worn out shoes, and she's of looks like her hair hasn't been washed anywhere near often enough, and she's of unusual mixed descent. And you could tell she's uncomfortable being in these beautiful, clean offices. Maybe 10 years old.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell her that I'll bring you to the. Well, we're at the shelter, obviously already.
Well, no, you're at the offices of RCIS. The shelter's nearby, and you can always take her there.
Okay. I'm going to tell her I'll bring you to the shelter. We'll get you some new clothes, some hot soup in your belly,
Well,
and I'll do a charisma roll.
Well, O'Shaughnessy sent me here. If you guys don't recall, that was the guy that you met. That was the foreman. The foreman that you chased the gangsters away from. His name is O'Shaughnessy. But so Mr. O'Shaughnessy down at the dock sent me to see you because he said you weren't like the other heroes. You weren't like Mojo and Maker and all that. You helped poor little kids that were Catholic. And she takes out one of these not particularly well-made crosses that someone paid too much money for in a tourist town. And she says, I'm Catholic and my brother is too, really. Can you help us, can you? Because those other heroes where they wouldn't help us because we don't have YouTube hits. We're not on Discord.
Yeah, we can help. The church is always willing to help.
And she's kind of making discoordinated noises because my brother, he disappeared on the island, and nobody cares about the kids that disappear on the island because they're all kids that don't have money. And the mayor doesn't like anyone that doesn't have money. No one even cares. I think they're dead. I hope my brother's not dead. You have to go find my brother.
Is there an orphanage on the island?
No, I live with my dad. He's just working right now.
So you want to find your brother?
He went missing on the island. He's not the first one.
What's your brother's name?
So the girl's name is Tati, which is short for Tatiana, and his name is Edwin. Gotta make myself some notes so I don't drop everybody's names.
So Edwin and Tatiana.
Uh-huh. Because my dad, my dad's a long short.
Need help to reunite.
What's that now?
Edwin.
Yep.
And Tatiana's asked me to help her reunite them.
Yep.
And they say Edwin may be on the island.
That's where he disappeared.
So we have to do a search of the island. Oh, that's right. I think this was a human trafficking thing that Jay mentioned last week or last time we played on the island.
The heck?
So, Black Raven, you have to narrow down your shipping traffic to the island. And we have to go there and look for human trafficking of orphans.
Okay, so are you sharing this with your compatriots? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm sharing it with my compatriots. Is there a detective role or a charisma roll I can make to find out more specific information?
For sure. Are you bringing your buddies in first, or are you checking stuff out first?
I'll check it out myself for now.
Okay.
Hold on.
So at Bell Island, you get out there, and there is a lot of. Sorry, I got to join the chat here. It's giving me a weird authentication problem. Give me just a sec so I can get this straight.
Oh, sorry. This chat also pops up on our live stream, so it becomes.
No, it's cool. I just trying to figure. Yep.
Captured notes. It'll always be there.
Nice.
So if you ever need to find out what we talked about, I'm going to keep on
Good
trying
stuff.
to
Okay, I'm in.
fire game facts into the chat. Black Raven's going to keep up. It's got a secretary taking.
Don't worry.
Okay, so give me 2 detective roles for going out onto the island and seeing what you can see on your legwork.
All right, my detective is 5.
Okay, so your target numbers are going to be 11 for the first one and 15 for the second one. The more higher you get, the more information you get.
I got a 16 on my first roll.
Yep.
And then my second roll, I got a 15.
Okay. So you spend the afternoon out in the island and you learn that there's a lot of, I wouldn't go so far as to call them gangs, but there's a lot of groups of kids that either are single parent or no parents. And there's a whole lot of groups of kids that roughly take care of each other, Oliver Twist style out there. And the police don't go out on Bell Island unless they have a reason to go out there. And they try and keep out of all the domestic crap. And it is relatively common to have either people who want to disappear go to the island, and it is polluted as hell. There's all kinds of weird old industrial stuff. It's slated to get new docks as part of the improvement project, but it's years behind the time, and it tends to be kind of slummy. But there's also a lot of these places that the kids will go and just play in old scrap yards and all of that. So it is a very big place. It is miles long, and there's lots of kids. So you could see that this seemed to be a likely thing to happen. And you run into a number of these kids, including people that know Tati and Edwin, at least in passing. And you learn that precisely where Edwin was seen last, and we'll get to that in a second, your second roll yields that, and it doesn't take you long to figure this out, there has been 13 disappearances of kids that you're sure of in this area in the last 2 years.
All right. Well, I'm going to hand out some. I'm going to stay on the island.
Yep.
And I'm going to hand out some pamphlets to the kids, and I'm going to contact Black Raven and tell him the exact things you just told me.
Okay.
I will get in touch with the Guardian and relay that.
Jay, you're real quiet.
Oh, I'm going to give that information also to Guardian and say I'm going to head on out there, catch up with Father Murphy.
We haven't talked about him yet, but are you also looping Cyborg in this or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. You're right. I forgot about him, but
Yep, it's all good.
No word from number 5 yet. It's still the Detroit. I mean, the Racer City 4.
You are indeed the Racer City 4 at current.
How are we getting out there? I normally take a motorcycle.
The ferry. It's a ferry boat.
to the island. There's not a bridge.
There's 2 bridges.
Oh yeah, so I'm just going to drive out there. With my,
Okay, what do you drive? I understand you've got wealth underneath you.
oh, might as well make it an Audi. Why not?
Oh, good. Driving the Audis.
Yeah. I have what was it? Is it the A8?
The A8's the A8 is the big luxury car someone else drives you around in.
Sherry's dad has that. I got the take that out every once in a while when I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Big luxury ride. Yep.
By myself. Go down to Source Comics, and I can get it well over 90 miles an hour pretty quick.
Yeah, even the A series is really fast. So, Cyborg guy wants to get in the car with you if you want to drive him down there. I'm assuming Guardian's taking his bike.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you guys arrive out there. Like I said, the island is miles long. There's a lot going on. If you guys want to conduct any searches or questioning or whatever, let me know what it is you want to do to find your way to it. I mean, you arrive at the island. That much is easy.
That much is easy. I guess I'm going to drive around. I don't even know what's really out here. Is there a racetrack? Is there an aquarium and a planetarium?
It's not a good part of town. It's something that's been
totally industrial.
Yeah, and it's been slated for renewal, but part of the reason you guys are here is the renewal project keeps getting caught up in every variety of crime and politics. They're trying to move the city forward. And this is one of the places that they are failing the people in the city.
What time of day is it?
Time of day do you go out there?
It's up to Father Murphy. He instigated this.
Well, Father Murphy called you at right around 6 p.m.
And I told you there's a bunch of derelict kids running around.
Oh, if it's evening, then I can park the car somewhere in the shadows and gear up and then start climbing, getting up high.
Okay.
That's what Black Raven does.
Reconnoiter.
If I'm racing through town, I'm already geared up. So.
Yep.
What time of year is it?
I busted out of the garage in costume.
What's the date?
Doing the wheelie.
It's late spring. I don't have an exact date for you.
Perfect weather.
Late spring. Let's make it June 1st.
June 1st.
Okay.
June 1st, 2024.
Got it. So yeah, you get okay. So the three of you get out there. You manage to find the father. You've determined there is a pattern of missing kids that seems to be going uninvestigated. What power, skills, or abilities are you guys bringing to bear here? What are you looking for? Who are you talking to?
Well, I guess finding camps of homeless kids and start interrogating them, police footwork type of thing. Where are these kids gone missing? There's any pattern to it? Time of day, night? Is it always in the same location?
Excellent. So, and your detective is 8?
7.
7. Okay, same. So your target number is 9. The more you roll, the more APs you get. Guardian, what are you looking for?
There's no government entities in town to come get these kids. There's no safety net to take care of these kids. Why are they out here?
So
welcome to America, baby. What safety net? This is America. You're on your own. You're on your ass.
This is the homeless problem and how it's landed. You do have social workers out here. You do have a certain number of cops that come out here, but not much. And when the fire department is trying really hard to keep up with a medical crisis out there with just violence and drugs and all of that, but they can't do it. There is government services, but they're overburdened. They are trying.
I've been beating up thugs in Chicago for 20 years. I've never seen anything this wacky.
I'm gonna stand up on my soapbox. I'm gonna kick the soapbox over, and I'm gonna start preaching to the children using my charisma roll.
Okay, your
charisma. Follow the church.
Your charisma is what now?
4.
Okay, roll me 2 dice.
I rolled a 3.
Roll of a 3. You convert no souls with a roll of a 3.
I'm going to keep doing it though.
Well, okay, that's fine. It's not going to be successful.
I'm on my soapbox.
I get you.
I'm pounding my podium. I got the good book in my hand.
The special good book. So, I'm sorry, Oaken, I get that you're doing Oaken. Shit. Father Murphy, I get that you're doing that. Guardian, what are you doing once you've discovered that it's essentially a big homeless camp? Although there is people that live here, that live in apartments, that work on the docks and all of that, it's a very poor area.
Well, I hear Father Murphy doing this.
Yes,
I
you
see
definitely
this.
get Father Murphy preaching the good book.
I'm walking towards the kids and looking to make sure none of them are terrified at this point.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So,
Keep your hands off me, you creepy
of the
priest.
people who have showed up, right? Sorry, dog going crazy behind me. Of government, the government hasn't necessarily showed up, but St. Patrick's has. The church has. So there are, steam kitchens, and they set them up out here, and they'll go out with these like vans and stuff to try and feed the kids. So they have a very positive feel for the church here. They don't necessarily trust them, but they do like to see them coming.
The roach coach just showed up.
Yeah, but they are thankful for the new fangled, kindler, gentler church, not this archaic fire and brimstone crap that Father Murphy's pulling on them right now.
So Father Murphy is not having a successful day with his charisma. We'll see how it goes. He may pull people over to the church later as the story goes.
Wow.
Are we leaving the investigating to Jay? Because I mean, if we are, it's cool.
And I mean, when I'm talking to the kids looking for this information, I also have influence of 8 if it's more appropriate to use that in a social interaction as opposed to the.
So if you're in the Black Raven costume, that's going to make this harder. You can't exactly go.
I'm a
chat
lousy
with people.
priest. What can I say?
Yep. You can't exactly go chat with people dressed as Black Raven, or you can, but you're not going to get the same responses.
Yeah, they don't have a reputation as friendly with kids.
Yeah, the black's cool, but you need to add some kind of nice color.
I mean,
Maybe
I guess
something.
if I'm going to get kids to talk to me, I better go out there in my business attire with my, Louis Vuitton or whatever Versace suits, and cufflinks, and so hey, what's going on,
I
kids?
actually have a Versace necktie.
Okay.
I find it
So
amazing that this is the. It's a nice compact version.
Oh, I've got it.
But the action and results table that you use for everything in the game
Yep.
is only printed in the book once. There and there.
I think I still have the wheel. Do you guys remember the wheel?
I saw the wheel. I didn't have it, but I saw that. I thought that was beautiful.
It was in the second edition box.
Okay. So you did 2 detective roles, Jay. Remind me what you came up with.
17.
17. In the second one? Give me a second roll.
Oh, a second one?
Yep.
12.
Okay. So you have determined, and this takes quite a bit of time. This is something that's going to take you a day or 2 to get done. That there is, it's not necessarily just kids. Some adults go missing too. But they tend to be the people that nobody reports missing, or they thought that they just blew town, headed back to Chicago.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a couple of places they tend to go missing that are all on the eastern edges of the island, and they're definitely people are last seen by and large on the shore, on the edge. And this is some pretty rough, torn up sections of island, right? But yeah, this is people that go down to the riverside, and that's where often they're last seen. And you see that. What's that?
I have to pee.
Okay. That Tati said that Edwin was most. That was very likely where he was last, because that's where he tends to go when he's killing time.
Well, fantastic. That's a good enough lead to go down there in the evening in a Black Raven costume and lurk around and see if someone can try to felch me. See if some lobstrosities try to grab me.
Now, that last one tore you up pretty solid.
That's true. That's
okay.
True. It did.
So stealth is a thief skill. What's your thief?
6.
6. Okay, so Guardian, the Black Raven is going around. You sharing the information with him?
Yes.
Cyborg says, "God, I'm not going to be a lot of use in this hearts and minds stuff for you guys, so I'll be on the phone if you need me. But I scare children because I have half a face."
Oh, I thought we were past the talking children phase and we were scouring the beach looking for.
Well, no, you can absolutely scour the beach, but Cyborg tells you, look, I'll be nearby, but just I'm no good at talking to people.
Okay.
Guardian, what are you doing with now that he shared this with you, or what are you doing with the time?
If he's scouring the beach, then I guess we can just go opposite directions, or search over the same spot together. Two minds are better than one. How do you want to do this, Raven?
Yeah, we can split up. Just keep your phone on. Let's keep our phones on two-way.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just toss you a two-way radio.
You go left.
There's phone apps that do that, right?
Yeah, there's true.
Making everything so complicated. Okay.
Download this app, Guardian. Push to talk.
So, Father Murphy, I'm not sure if you caught that. They discovered there were certain areas on the eastern edges of the island where people tend to go missing, and it hasn't just been kids. It's not that the police don't investigate this. It's that they've had no luck. So disappearances off Bell Island tend to get low priority because they tend to be just a dead hole for police time.
All right, well, I'll walk to the east side of the island and continue preaching.
Okay. I will take detective skills. If you guys have military science or some of those, let me know what skills you're applying to your search pattern. You get a bonus because you're spending time and getting your hands dirty.
The unskilled going to be minus 2 column shifts with intelligence.
Sure, you can do it that way.
Yeah, I don't have detective skills, so I've got no skills to help search.
You got a charisma skill? What was your other skill you have? An acrobatics? What's that?
Charisma and acrobatics are the only two actual technical skills.
Right, those are all about talking to people. All right.
I knew. I was leaning towards, he should have weaponry or not detective so much, but there was something else in there. Oh, driving.
Yep.
Vehicles. But I was like, if I have to roll for those, it's just with the unskilled.
Okay. So you can make it, you can use your charisma to do this and just talk to people when you're out there because it's not deserted. There's pit fires, there's people. It's not a bad place. It's not destitute. You see people that tend to be together. They're just, it's a rough place and it's people making the best of it. There's encampments of people speaking foreign languages, all that good stuff. So if you want to give me a charisma roll, and your charisma is a
6.
Is a 6. You need at least an 11. The higher you get, the more results you get. Black Raven, you're detectiving. Your detective is 7. Give me a roll. You need at least a 9. And Father Murphy, you talking to people, or are you investigating the beach, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I use my detective.
Okay. Your detective is 4. You need at least a 13.
No, my detective is 5.
Okay, it's 5. You rolled a 13 Guardian.
13.
Yep. Okay. So you're going around, you're talking to groups of people, and you find a weird little fact. And it's not what you're looking for. That near the northern tip, just south of the eastern tip, is a place called Makoi, right? No one can spell it. It's an Indian name of some kind, which is one of the weird places the water is getting cleaner. And then the shoreline isn't, contaminated with oil and all of this. And at Point Makoi is, it's people just talk about it like, yeah, they don't know why. It's the one unsullied place on the island. And they tend to respect it, and no one goes out and throws bottles there, kind of deal.
Interesting.
Is the sandy area, is the area on the island cleaner than the rest of the island too, or is it just obviously the water's clean?
It looks like it's actually moving. The clean area is also up on the beach, but you haven't seen it. This is just what you've heard so far. Hang on, Black Raven. Hang on. What you get when you're going around doing these things is you find out the whole thing that There is a couple of cops out here that have been trying to work on this, but it's low impact. They're not given a lot of time because it's tough. And you have found that it hasn't been exclusively poor people that have disappeared. There have been tourists on a couple of occasions that have disappeared, and this is what's caused a couple of blips in the press and all of that. Where do you know who the urban spelunkers are? People that find abandoned buildings and they cave dive them.
Yep.
That's
I'm always looking
urban
for a sidekick
spelunkers.
amongst that crowd.
I've been spelunking now and again, but I never think an urban spelunker.
Yeah, Black Raven's always hoping to find a sidekick from that crowd.
I love it. I love urban spelunker. I'm writing that one down.
A couple of urban spelunkers went missing. They were originally from Boston, and this is towards the beginning of it. But they're the only time there was a serious investigation by the state police, and no one ever found anything.
Yep. So still
I'm
missing.
writing down urban spelunking.
I'm so glad you enjoyed that. And Father Murphy, you find out that the church, not the local cathedral, he looks very Ultron. I like him.
Yeah, he's fighting a lobstrosity.
So you find out that HMC in Rome has investigated this. Not St. Patrick's Cathedral, but the HMC at one point sent investigators out here, although they didn't seem to have resolved anything.
What's the HMC?
Well, Rome.
Holy Mother Church, sorry.
Yeah, I was
I've
going
been
to say it.
exiled from Rome.
Yep. Okay, gentlemen. I tell you what, roll me an initiative and tell me what you do based on that. This is just who goes first.
Oh, interesting. Now you have my attention.
Yeah, right. Always initiative always gets people, the players' attention.
What the hell is it?
22.
I got
27.
23.
And I'm popping my numbers in the chat, so if you ever need to look at those, Game Master, you can find
Appreciate that. So,
Yeah, 23. Yeah, I got 23.
27 for the B Rave.
Father Murphy has a 23. Black Raven, B Ray.
Yep, go to bat for the B Rave. Everyone loves Black Raven. He's Detroit's favorite Avenger.
Oh, you are such a DJ. Black Raven has a 27, you said?
Yes.
And Guardian has
22.
a 22. Okay. So, Black Raven, you come to the you have the first. Where are you going? What are you doing? You've learned all of this in your investigation.
Well, oddly enough,
Yep.
with the last remaining points, scraps of points before the game started, I threw it at swimming. I have swimming 1. I'm going to go for a swim. I'm going to go into the clean water and take a dive and go look for something that's not supposed to be there. Already this water doesn't seem to be right, so I'm looking for anything that's not supposed to be there, whether it's entrances or wires or underground piping or lobstrosities, having a picnic, anything like that.
Okay.
I'll let you do that, but next time you better give me a break as well.
As far as the points?
As far as doing something last minute.
Well, no, I did this character creation.
No argument. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, you guys did
Getting
pull
my
90
point.
some points after last one. Okay. So,
But I'm not spending any of those points. I haven't spent any of those points.
I didn't even know I had points.
well, I did post it in the group, guys. You all ended up with 91 points after the last one. I believe it was 90.
Should
Okay,
we have
I'll
been
write that-
spent?
I'll-
Should we have
yeah,
spent
I'll
that
write
already?
down.
Well, you have it. Give me a sec. I'll look at it.
91? Because I
Hang
looked
on, I'm
for
checking.
it. I looked for it. How many points did I get
Please stand by.
from our last adventure?
Because we had 2 weeks. That's right. We had time to spend these points, didn't we?
Yeah, I
90
looked for it on the
93
Hero
points. It's in the Racer City feed. You got 93 points.
93. Okay.
Yep.
Because I'm
I'm
thinking
not
that's
going to use them
swimming
now, but
needs
I'm
to be
going to add
boosted.
what I got.
I remembered.
Good. Okay, so Father Murphy, what are you doing with this investigation you learned?
Wait, hold on. Let me add up my points. 13 plus, you said 93. So I have 106 points now.
All right.
And I have not used them yet. I'll keep them in the bank. How about that?
Yep, hang on to those for the moment.
Yep.
I didn't realize you guys hadn't seen that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know. I looked at the racist city. Maybe I didn't read it correctly. I was looking
No.
in the hero points.
Yep, I didn't think to put them there. My bad.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what are you doing now that you've learned this stuff? Black Raven says he's going to go swimming.
He said Black Raven said he going swimming.
Yep.
So I got nothing to do with that. I'm going to look at Guardian and ask him, why the hell is Black Raven going swimming? I don't understand what's going on now.
Are we even next to each other? I thought, but
Can be. I mean, it's not that big of an island. You want to catch up with each other. It's not going to be hard. It's like you've all got a phone in your pocket. You can find each other quick enough.
All right, I'm going to find Guardian.
Yep.
And say, Black Raven just jumped in the water.
well, when he comes up to Guardian's on the phone telling Black Raven to go to the southwest tip because I don't know that he's down there and already jumping in.
Okay.
Just because of the information I found out. And
And
then
the point, the location where Black Raven jumped into the water,
Right.
I'm going to go to that location and wait for him to resurface.
Okay. So you guys head down to Mockway Point. You all
I was going to see if I was closer to my bike than the point. I was going to go get on the motorcycle and race down there. But if I'm with the father, we'll just jog down there together.
Okay. You guys all end up with an icon on your phone that is a cartoon version of Cyborg's face.
Ooh.
He's added an app to your devices.
Does it give us his location at all times?
But you haven't had a chance to do this yet, Mr. Swimming. Okay.
Triangulate it in subspace.
So no one has any fine arts type skills or fine art type scholars, do they?
No.
Okay. So this place is weirdly pretty, and it's probably only 100 yards across. But yeah, it's cleaner, but it's got a vibe to it that's hard to put your finger on.
It's magically delicious.
Oh, and you see, a number of koi fish in the river, which I'm pretty sure any of you can tell are not native. Koi fish are definitely not native to the Detroit River.
I hate carp.
But koi fish get dumped out all the time, right? The people have them and they throw them in rivers. I mean, they're a common pet store.
It's
Well,
a
for
goldfish
sure.
on steroids.
But there's something about the goldfish here. They seem to be the koi fish seem to be a part of this weird, like, oasis spot. You see a couple of crustaceans and all of that, and all the lobsters and crayfish were supposed to have been dead in this river a decade ago. But when you're swimming around out there, it looks like there's some type of an ecological resurgence. While you're out swimming, Tati comes up, and she's watching what you guys are doing.
Well, they're breeding the koi fish to feed the lobstrosities, so they got something to eat. So it's just a fish farm. And Tatiana, she came up to us and asked what we were doing. So I'm going to do a charisma roll and ask her what she knows about the koi fish and stuff.
Sure.
I rolled a 16.
Easy enough. So she says, how did you know this is exactly where he was? She was surprised you found the exact spot her brother disappeared from. And because you got such a darn good roll, she learned, although she wasn't there at the time from some of the other kids, that they were throwing old oil filters because they found a case of used oil filters that someone had illegally dumped, and they were throwing the oil filters in the water.
Well, maybe we need to inspect them filters and see if there's some contamination that is not normal to petroleum products.
Strangely enough, you see no oil filters in the water.
Has Raven disappeared underwater, or do we see him going up and down or splashing around out there?
Yeah, you see him up and down and splashing and all of that.
Okay. I'm just keeping an eye on him at this point, especially after hearing that new info.
Yep.
Every once in a while, spitting up a little bit of water in the stream, back down, doing some snorkeling.
Cyborg sends a message and says the water is even warmer there, but I can't figure why. And it pops up in your Cyborg app.
I'm going to try to get a hold of one of these crustaceans, one of these resurging life forms, and swim back out with it. So I can send it to my boys in the toothpaste lab, and so they can get to slicing it apart and figuring out what's going on here.
Okay. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Guardian?
It's warmer. I immediately thought of crustacean urination.
Oh, good. So she doesn't.
Maybe I should write that down too.
So Toddy won't get too near the water. Just she's a little freaked out by it. You guys have the whole collection of clues. I need you to put some things together in what you're seeing.
Well, I was hoping to find some underwater entrance.
You did not find an underwater entrance. You definitely capture yourself what looks like a kind of an unusual looking crayfish. You're not sure about it.
Put that in a Ziploc baggie.
Okay.
Well,
with a little river water. You know, like
he asked
something
for
you bought at the
initiative
fair.
roll, so that means danger is present somewhere.
Do we need to Father Murphy, can you like detect magic or is there something spiritual going on here?
No, but I can.
This is another magical scenario. I'm walking out of here.
No, but I can cause a ruckus and start preaching and start throwing carps and fishies around.
Haven't I exhausted you all? Haven't I exhausted you all on magic?
And attract some attention and cause a great big diversion.
At this point, I think it might be best if we get everybody, just not allow anybody on the island at this point of the island. If anybody's on the island, they need to stay on the other side, and we should just stake out and see what happens. Something's going to crawl out of there, especially if something's coming out of there and snatching kids.
So yeah, we could do some stakeout, certainly.
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna grab 2 carp. Or what do you call them? Koi. 2
koi fish.
Up and get on my soapbox and say, this food is poison. You cannot eat these fish.
So.
And I tell you this now, and I'll even do a charisma roll to do it. These fish are poisoning the waterway.
You need some loaves to go with your fishes, but
yeah.
Hang on, you're off on a red herring. It's okay. You cannot ban people from this part of the beach without physically standing in their way, because this is just one of those places. Right? People come and live here. Anyone with police contacts or act the soup kitchens?
No. Do not.
Like I said, you have the clues. Put it together.
Who's the smartest one here, guys? Put it together. What are our clues?
Well, you got the where of it, and you see that it's unusual.
We got
and you have that Edwin and his friends were throwing old oil filters in the water when he was last seen, and there are no oil filters or other.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's go round up some oil filters and start throwing them in the water. See what we can scare up some things. Throw some chum in the water and see what we can scare up. The oil
Okay.
filters have attracted something.
Well, here's my only issue with that is if something's defending their area.
Yep.
I don't really want to kick the crap out of something for doing something like defending their area. So.
Yeah, but it's about kids. Kids are going missing. You got to just figure out what it is. We got to find out what's snatching kids and take care of it. End of story, says Black Raven. Damn it. I'm not here on an ecological Save the Whales tour.
We could, we just need to spread the word to make sure other people don't offend whatever's down there. I want to know what's down there. Sure. Don't get me wrong, but if this ends up being a case of somebody damaging their ability to live, then
who are we talking about?
Stay alive.
Who are we talking about?
One other clue that I don't want you guys to shoot past is last year the church, the Vatican out of Rome, actually did an investigation here that it was indecisive. You have, if you also recall, the only people that weren't locals that disappeared were the two spelunkers from Boston, the urban spelunkers. Just I say that because Oaken likes it.
Okay, well, there's either throwing stuff in and see if we can attract something, or somehow going under to the island, whether there's sewers or anything like that. There's an infrastructure that can be accessed.
It says you're just wanting to chuck solid waste in, right?
Oil filters.
I don't want to cause ecological damage by dumping oil or something in here.
It's the Detroit River. What you throw a used oil filter in, you may be improving the situation. It's that bad.
Oh, you're dark. I like it.
It's so soiled that even if there's just a little bit of absorbent quality left in these oil racks, it's gonna help.
There's one this one area is obviously clean for a reason, but I don't know anything about magic or.
It's okay. You're asking all of the right questions.
Fictional Aquaman wannabe come out of here and start throwing punches, but hopefully we can communicate with them. So go ahead and do what you're going to do, Raven.
All right. Well, I'm going to. I'm off my podium. I'm walking off my podium. I'm done preaching.
Okay.
And if I don't have a drink in 2 hours, my initiative drops by -2. So I'm going to find a drink, and you all figure it out. I'm done with this shit. I'm walking away.
You managed to find a certain amounts of industrial waste and all that. I mean, you don't find specifically oil filters, but you find dirty crankcases and all of that.
Yep. Get them together and start going down there. If I see an old tire, I'll throw that in for good measure.
Okay.
Maybe I'll stuff a bunch of oil rags in an oil tire with some rocks and throw it in there.
You don't have even
my cardio going. I'm getting a workout now.
Oh no, you don't get that far into it before things happen. Do you have either military science or danger sense?
No, I just got an intelligence of 6.
Okay, so
Mike.
What's that?
As he's starting this and doing this, I'm turning around and just however many people are watching or within earshot.
Yep.
Multi-persuasion, everybody, you must disperse. You have to get away from this part of the island.
How many people are here? It's like
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
As far as I know, it's 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, right? It's 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Sure.
I know you're near was there.
And you're near the one clean spot amongst a couple of major homeless camps.
Okay, so there's homeless people.
Yep,
who've been getting snatched anyways. So if they're scared of anything here, why are they still here? So let's get real, guys.
Okay, so you start pitching things in. Guardian warns people back, and that's fine. They're standing back, but they're only going so far, right? Because they want to see what's going on.
Exactly. They live boring lives. They're probably getting out their Ripple and popping a few corks and going, let's eat the popcorn and going, let's see what happens.
So what are the values of a blind side? Is that 2 columns against you?
It could be. I'm not sure.
Got so darn many things open. I'm trying to do this in only one computer, so I only have the 2 screens.
Good practice.
Well, doing it on 5 machines is just a little silly. Let's see.
Yeah, you're right. I only have 4 computers in my house.
Yep, you're less crazy than me, see?
I'm still laid up with it.
I got a desktop and a laptop.
No, actually, 3 in the house. I keep 1 in the truck.
I guess my phone is. My phone is a computer. Just basically a computer with a phone app. Blindside.
You found
The
it?
character is blindsided. His or her opposing value shifted -1 column to the left.
-1 column. So your normal opposing value is
6.
6. It is. Okay. What is your resistance value?
5.
5. You're wearing the armor or no?
Oh yeah, that's right. I got armor. Let me check.
He said he was in a business suit.
Well, he's gone back and forth a couple of times.
Yeah, no, I went. This is all
Yeah,
in.
full power.
That's right. Where my Black Raven body armor of 8 gives me a total of what's that? 13. But I got to roll.
No. They don't stack. They don't stack.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me. 8.
Yep.
It's not skin armor. It's
Yep. So opposing of 5, acting of 8, roll of a 13. 1, 2, 3. Resistance of 8, effect value of 8. 1, 2, 3. You take 6 points of damage to your armor as someone threw an engine block at you.
Holy shit.
So you guys are up on the shore and you see Black Raven fly back 15 feet out of the water as he's hit by an engine block.
Game Master.
Yes, sir.
I did buy this body armor with a reliability number of 5.
Okay, check it.
We need to talk. Where the hell is a reliability number?
Under
That
gadgetry?
means his armor.
Yeah, gadget. I built.
doesn't
Yeah, it's body armor. It doesn't cover.
The reliability number. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a 5. So if I roll if I roll under that, they miss my armor because it's not full body shit.
Okay.
I rolled a 7. So
Okay.
So my armor gets chiseled down, right?
So your armor's current body is 2.
Nice.
And you are not flying out of the water. An old engine block was thrown at you, and it makes the most sickening noise hitting your armor.
Whack.
Guardian, I believe you're the Oaken's not far enough. Oaken's not right there, but Guardian, you're the only one that's right there. And you, what do you do?
Where did they come from? From out of the water?
It came from out of the water.
Okay. There's nothing to blast, so I'm just walking towards the beach to make sure he's okay. And see, that's why I said don't throw stuff in the water.
He's dumped himself off, and you can see his armor is dinged up. And if it wasn't for the plates on his armor, a blade of plates, that would have killed a normal man. That would have killed anything short of Father Murphy.
Yeah, but not the Black Raven. You're not bothered that there's something in the water that's throwing engine blocks around.
Mike, I immediately accelerate my intensity on getting these people out of here.
Okay.
I didn't care. Everybody, get away.
Okay.
Something's coming out of this water, and you're all in grave danger. Run!
Okay. Did you roll dice? Or
A 3 and a 1.
3 and a 1. Everybody comes closer because this is the most interesting thing that's happened. They all want to see it.
And,
Yeah. Okay. And
I heard some calamity,
oh,
so I'm turning on my force shield.
and Victor
I'm
says,
gonna
"What
ask
was
the-
that
yeah.
thing?"
And I'm going to ask the nearest homeless person for a shot of whiskey. And I'm getting ready.
They're passing around bottles of wine, and they're glad to share them with your father.
All right.
It's cheap department. It's cheap grocery store wine, but they're passing it around.
My force shield is on, and I'm looking towards Black Raven, and I'm going to go to him
Okay.
because he
Yep.
just got hit by engine block.
Yep. And
so Victor's talking to us over our phones, or do
Yeah.
I need to hit his app button?
No,
he's-
we're all in the same crowd, spread
No,
out. It's like
yeah,
a rock concert going on here.
Victor seems to be able to talk on your phone whether you want him to or not.
Yeah, but he's not there, right?
Correct. He's not there. For point of
Yeah,
reference, Victor has
the other thing I would yell immediately is, Victor, you need to get here right away. Raven has instigated the crustacean infestation.
Sweet.
Okay.
Love it.
So for point of reference, Victor has the interface power, and he can make your phone do whatever he wants, but that goes for everybody's phone. So yeah, he just talk. You can talk like he's not there, and he's going to hear you. But there's no follow up after that. The thing, you threw the stuff in the water, and he throws an engine block back at you, whoever that was, and you got some people on the beach are laughing. You got some people that are like, "Oh man!" And of course, there was a couple of pictures that were caught of it.
Nice.
But Victor's Vincent, not Victor, Vincent, says, "Wow, I got a huge infrared signature in the water when that happened."
Is the I'm going to go grab the engine block and throw it back in.
The engine block.
Boom.
You're kitted to throw a 200-pound engine block?
I got a strength of 5.
Okay, yeah.
That's no problem. Engine
Yep.
block's
Okay,
only
I'm up.
400 pounds.
Badass motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to throw it right back. Then something just tagged me. I'm going to see if I can draw it out on land because I don't want to fight it in water.
The engine block is, you can see that it has been in the water for a while. It is something that has been deep in the water. And okay, you grab it up to throw it. Your initiative is what?
I need to roll it, don't I?
You do.
28.
Okay. You unfortunately go first.
24.
Why is that unfortunate?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So right where, I mean, basically try to go back the trajectory where it came out, throw it right back as hard as I can.
So your intelligence and mind are your opposing and resistance value for this attack.
My intelligence and will, or
All of you, including the people on the beach, including Tatya.
Okay, 6 and 5.
Yep. So, damn it. Pool of 8, 9 acting. Six, 5.
So what'd you say? Intelligence plus mind?
Intelligence and mind, that's your opposing and resistance for the thing that is happening in the next minute.
Okay.
Ah,
My total is 11.
No, that's
Nope, not total. They're separate values. We use both of them.
Oh, intelligence 4, mind 7.
Okay. Wow, mine's 7. All right. Guardian?
6 and 3.
One's all opposing, one's all resistance. Okay.
Nah, I need to get a big pinky in it.
Okay.
Yeah, once I got my head around, like you buy an attribute gadget by building attributes and give the attributes just in italics and bingo. There you go. There's your gadget. So, and hard
You-
defenses make it all work.
The engine block lands in the water. And this is a looking back moment because you have all fled the beach except for Father Murphy.
I haven't fled the beach.
You have just fled the beach. All of you, including the people.
Oh, got you. Sorry, I'm like, what the-
It's
You are
a
all
mind
currently
thing.
fleeing the beach. You are moving at your best speed to get away from here. Everybody except for Father Murphy is struck by an existential dread, a fear of the thing in the water.
It's the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Mike, I didn't realize what was happening, so he didn't say anything about my nerves of steel.
Oh, Nerves of Steel. Got it?
Where's the
Oh, I believe you. Just,
plus? No, I was just showing up there. Plus 2 column shifts, OV, RV versus aura of fear, phobia, and intimidation.
I can throw
Nice.
the engine block. I can throw the engine
Would
block.
that have taken effect, or
Absolutely, it does. So, excuse me, the Guardian and Father Murphy are still in the beach. You get blasted with dread. Do we just lose Mike?
Yep, let me get him back in.
Okay.
there was 3?
You get blasted with existential dread. Go ahead, Guardian.
No. I just
Thing popped up on my
I
screen.
was just glad to see he was back.
It's my gay hit me want police contacts or ask for soup kitchen. I hit the wrong button. I think it's coming some kind of
That's
spam
okay.
shit.
No one cares.
I'll take a perception check if you want to spot what's going on. Intelligence and will are, if you don't have a specific skill for this.
My intelligence is 4, my will is 3.
Roll me 2 dice. You would need to roll an 18. Guardian?
6 and 3.
6 and 3. You would also need to roll an 18 for different reasons.
I rolled a 14.
15.
12.
Okay.
12. I rolled 12.
The two of you managed to withstand the blast of terror, but it takes a lot to be standing there. And there was something indistinct off the shore, but you didn't see what it was.
But everybody else is running but us 2.
Including the Black Raven, yeah.
Nothing's coming out of the water.
I'm still
something in the
on the beach. I'm still next to the water.
Yep, you're still on the beach.
That.
But even for you, that was a gigantic amount of terror. But, yeah, but your mind is steeled against that.
Yes,
Right?
it is.
Fear doesn't mean all that much to you, but even for you, that was a lot. But neither one of you could make out what the thing was. So here's the question. Do you want to pursue the thing in the water or go back and do research and come back and see it again?
I'm not going in the water.
Vincent, did you said you said something just happened under the water?
I got a big infrared blast. Let me go through the video and maybe I'll be able to find something.
Yeah. I wonder if it was some kind of portal or something. Maybe that's why nothing's down there. Maybe something's coming.
No, dude. There's a location
sounds
on the
magical.
island. There's a compound on the island where we can access things.
So do you pursue the thing in the water or do you withdraw and do research or you do something I haven't thought of yet?
No, I'm not going in the water.
Yeah, I'm not going in the water. No. I'm just
Black
Between-
Raven can swim down there again, but the engine block threw that onto the dam side.
let me try something. I don't know that this will do anything. I've never done this before, Father. I'm going to actually blast my ray from my helmet and just wide beam that into the water and see if anything starts floating up.
Fish.
Good, because that was my next idea. I was getting ready to do that myself.
Make the water go to sleep.
Yeah, not fish. Yeah, nothing funny though.
Nothing. Okay, so that doesn't work.
I didn't think anything would happen, but
Okay, it's 5 phases later, and you're all the way back at your Audi, and when you're like, oh my god, I ran away and left everyone. And it's already starting to appear on the Bell Island Facebook group that the new Detroit Four seem to be afraid of everything, including their own shadow in the water.
Who's snapping pictures of these? Who's getting? Oh, I guess the homeless people.
Yep.
Yeah, big audience, big audience.
Am I still near the water?
You are.
Well, I'm a priest. So I tell you what I'm going to do.
I'm listening.
I'm going to go down and going to touch the water and bless it and turn it into holy water.
You perform a blessing ceremony. I love it.
And see if that stirs any unholy spirits from the nether regions.
Wait, what?
Not that kind of nether regions.
He's blessing he's blessing his scrotum.
I'm blessing the water. I'm going to turn the river into holy water.
Well, you have a limit to how much you can do on that.
Well, I got several points I can spend.
Well, no, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it, but I didn't expect you to do that until several scenes from now. Give me 1 sec while I pull something up.
Because I want to pull something up, see what it looked like.
Okay, roll me 2 dice.
I got a 9.
Roll of a 9. The father goes down, puts his hands upon the water, speaks a ritual, and something seems to have changed. Although you can't put a finger on what. The place is still nicer than it should be, but something is gone. And there will be no more events in the water this evening.
All right, I'll go back to the masses.
Interesting.
So, guys, who do you see? What do you research? What do you go look for?
I'm going to take my crustaceans to my. Don't I have a employee contact that we haven't decided yet? Fine.
Yeah, you certainly can.
He's going to be. Let's just make it a little. I want to keep it like commercial Procter and Gamble's kind of feel here. What Ravencroft Industries is. So I'm going to bring the crustacean to the one scientist I know that I've talked to before about things like body armor, impact, things like that. And he's the food flavor engineer in the like the product department, like I said, like toothpaste and other things that people put in their mouths and go, you need to tell me what this weird thing is. There's something not right about this. You're the only one I know who's got chemical engineering background, blah 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 blah. And
Okay.
and did you want me to have
sure
this
you document
business
the connection.
content, this business content, or this dependent, if you would, in the company? Does he know what I do, or does she know what I do?
You're president of the company. You can ask weird questions. You don't have to have him.
Okay. It's just that one of my disadvantages is a dependent, and I'm making it this employee.
Okay. Just make sure you document the employee up so we keep the connection straight is all.
Okay. So what did I call it? Chief flavor engineer?
Flavor engineer. Yeah, just
for Ravencroft candies.
Yep, I got 5 screens open. I'm not going to remember this. Just document it later so we have it for later as well. Okay.
Put it in the chat. It's there forever.
Okay. You determine that this is a thought to be extinct species of crustacean that is been known that is was last seen in the estuaries around Tokyo Bay.
Well, that's something right there, I tell you. The other thing, did you say we have 2 weeks of downtime?
No, you. This is new. I mean, nothing else was going to happen that night, so you guys can go look things up. You can do whatever you like.
Oh, okay.
What do you
so
do with what you've learned? You learned it's an extinct, a thought to be extinct crustacean from the estuaries around Tokyo Bay. You guys have all learned something. Tell me what you're doing with it.
Did the food engineer give us like a flavor profile?
No one has
You're
cooked these yet. No one has cooked these yet.
to
But
shellfish.
These guys know nothing of my contact. I'm not telling them what
Oh.
I'm doing.
The oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just gonna say I gotta go bring this to someone to take a look at it. I'll be back in touch.
you guys have
I'll
learned
call them and tell them that. But this is information that's you don't know what to do with it, right?
All right,
As much as I don't.
I'm still in the homeless camp.
Okay.
With the kids and the adults and stuff. I'm gonna find the biggest fire in this camp because that's where the leader is, and I'm gonna find him.
Very nice.
And I'm gonna walk up to him and punch him in the face and say, "You tell me what's going on here."
Now he's
You're gonna walk up and punch him in the face to interrogate him?
Exactly.
Start terrorizing the homeless people.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to be back in my penthouse apartment just after I washed and showered, mixing a little scotch, going online and researching to see if there's any scientists in Detroit specializing in crustaceans or biological engineers or anything like that. Anyone fucking around with stuff like this?
Well, there totally is. And hang on, because Father Murphy gets to try and intimidate the leader of the homeless camp, which I think is funny. Vincent is going back to his house and going through the images he got from the engine block throwing.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so roll me 2 dice to intimidate. I believe your charisma is 4.
Yep. I rolled a 7 and a 5, but 13.
7 and 5 is 12.
Yep.
And your unorthodox interrogation method is very Batman of you. But it's a big woman with a lot of facial hair whose name is Bootsy. And you walk up and smack her in the face. And she's like, "What the hell are you doing? I'm Catholic." And but you intimidate, and she says, "Yeah, that this is something that's been going on for years, and they don't know if this is smugglers or poison or just bad things happen to good people. They have never been able to figure out specifically where what's going on, but this is just one of the ways that poor people disappear that rich people don't care about." She doesn't know specifically more than that. But she also says it's been going on for not just the last 2 or 3 years. The stories go back almost 20.
Well, I'm going to smack her, grab her by the throat, smack her again. So you need to give me more information.
Well, that's all you're going to get out of her because that's all she knows.
Bootsy don't know shit.
Champion, what are you doing while your priest is beating people up?
I assume that we all separated, so I guess I'm back home explaining everything that I saw and everything that I heard to my brother, and we're just brainstorming to see if we can come up with anything. Before I guess we're meeting, unless I get a call, I guess we're meeting again tomorrow and sharing our thoughts.
I have far too many screens open. Oh, doggone it. Okay.
Well, doggone it.
So Vincent comes up with an image. Do you guys get an image? Oh. Jay, apparently you have to allow me to.
Yes, I do. I see it right there. Yeah. There we go. Bingo. Money shot right there.
Vincent comes up with an image, and this was him kind of feeding through the infrared, and he caught it in the moment, and the thing threw an engine block. And a preliminary kind of quick and dirty Google says that it looks like a Tahine or a Japanese river spirit.
Well, I'm going looking for it. I'm going back to the water. I'm not going home tonight without a fight. Straight up.
You're not going to find a fight tonight. I mean, you can go punch out a stranger, but you've already driven off the monster. You did a blessing ritual, and you've run into one of the crux principles of this game, that you seem to drive off a Japanese demon with a Christian ritual.
Benchmarks.
Disappeared people, Holy Mother Church, research a demon name, get out your wetsuits.
Build. I'm going to take time and build sealed systems into my suit. I'm looking up the gadget rules to do so.
What time is it now?
You guys have some time. So the monster was driven off by the ritual, by the blessing. So you got till the next day. What are you doing with the overnight?
Would we meet back at the island in the morning, or?
Sure.
I wrote down in the chat what I was doing.
Yep, I got it. So yeah, and Vincent goes with you, and he's like, yeah, he says, I'll ride in the back of your motorcycle. Sounds great.
Oh wait.
Also sounds like you guys are a little short on blasting power.
When so just whenever we just separate for the evening, we all just plan on going back to the island in the morning, except for the father who's going to punch homeless people all night.
I didn't say anything about going back in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So they call you. Are you going back in the morning?
I wanted to get the fruits of my research.
You want to work on a sealed system?
Well, no, I can't. I guess my flavor engineer is the person who builds my fucking suit. Someone does, because I don't.
Okay. So no gadgetry right off.
Nope, I guess I'm going to have to my flavor engineer teach me it at some point.
Tastes like
I'll stay on the island with the homeless for the night.
Okay. Despite the fact you're a little punchy, I don't know why that strikes me as funny as it does. So when I use the browser to open up images, it tends to open them up in the browser window. So if I close it, it doesn't go back. I go back to a previous window, and I keep closing things that I need.
Going around in circles, are you? Going around in circles?
Yeah. So Vincent comes out there, and he's talking to Guardian. He's like, okay, so it's nice. Why is it nicer, and what's a river monster? Did it just get mad because you threw cans at it?
Yeah, I didn't throw anything at it. That was Raven's idea. But yeah, I guess they.
There were oil filters.
You did let us know, everybody know, that it was a Japanese crawfish that you pulled out of the extinct Japanese crustaceans that you pulled out of there, right?
Yeah, as soon as I get that information, I would pass
in that case. When I was brainstorming last night, I started wondering if originally I figured this was some kind of magical interdimensional thing but if these crustaceans actually came from Japan, it doesn't explain if they were an extinct species, but maybe what Vincent was picking up, instead of being some kind of interdimensional portal type thing, maybe it was actually a time portal. And these things are actually, this section of the water is actually connected to Japan in some way, and things are going back and forth.
Yeah, it's the Bermuda Triangle, the magnetic shift.
I'm thinking more someone's trying to bring
Man.
back species that have become extinct.
Hey, if you can do if somebody's powerful enough to create a portal to connect a space between that far of a distance, don't underestimate that they could also
When
connect it
did
through time. Maybe this creature is extinct now, but it's not extinct on the other side of this portal.
To the best of your knowledge, no superhuman currently in the world can create space or time portals anywhere near this powerful. This would make them both unknown and one of the most powerful or the most powerful superhuman in the world.
Yeah, when did we start talking portals? When did we go there? That's
I
new.
know this sounds science fiction-y, but I don't know. You're pulling extinct Japanese species out of the water in Detroit.
Any luck on my research of finding anyone locally that's
Oh yeah, absolutely. So there's a university professor. She specializes in Asian mythology, and she herself is Japanese. And for some reason, she's married to a Swedish man. So this tiny Japanese woman is Dr. Svensson at the university. But yeah, she's a Japanese folklorist expert.
some more information I forward in text to Guardian Father Murphy with a follow up, and I got a board meeting at 8 in the morning. I'll be out of pocket till 11 a.m. Go talk to this person, see what you find,
Hmm.
and I'll call down for my car so I can get ready, go to the office, and get ready for my board meeting.
Very good.
There's going to be a power play, proxy war. That I got to snip in the bud. Just another day in Ravencroft Industries.
So Father did his thing. Is since Vincent's actually on site for the first time.
He is, yeah.
Can you see or hear, or do you have any other sensory powers other than picking up the pulse that you picked up last night?
And he says, "Well, sort of. I have a really good infrared vision just out of my infrared eye. But what I can do is I can tap into other people's things. So if someone else, there's like the two security cameras right across the water, I can tap into their feed. I can get a lot of what's already there and pick up, and I'm just correlating information."
But but you can't. You're standing here on the edge of the water. You can't see through the water. I know you're not the human fish finder, but still, I didn't know if you could pick up anything.
I got infrared, but that's all I'm getting. But no, most of my advanced vision skills I'm just picking up things from everybody else. Jane Seymour, really? Jane Seymour?
No, she was. Do you remember who she is?
Yeah, oh yeah, she's the '80s actress who was in all the miniseries.
No, she's the in 2020 in the current in Capital City. She's the head of research and development at Fordham Chemtech. She had Olympian squeeze the ball, the titanium ball.
That.
Maybe she's working for me now because a couple of years ago she quit for reasons because this is in the future.
This is 4 years in advance of that, yeah.
So we'd be reusing an NPC, with an NPC. The only reason I propose this is because we would be utilizing an NPC that already exists in the game universe. But if you think that's too far of a lift,
it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Woohoo! That's so cool. Now it's like a comic book. Like a comic book universe. None of you guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I got you.
You weren't there. No, they weren't. They weren't there for the battle at.
Yeah, but I was there, so I got you.
Yeah. Okay, good. And I'll make sure it's Dr. Jane Seymour. I'll gotta go double check that.
Okay. But you do remember the actress Jane Seymour, right?
I'm sure that's where I poached it from. I mean, I'm pulling names from whatever. And I am a child of the 80s.
She was in more Lifetime movies than you could shake a dead cat at. And,
Probably always wearing like some kind of sweater that comes up, rolls under the neck.
oh no, she was the hottie that all of the good girls were mad at.
Oh, okay.
But
so she was
anyway, I digress. So yeah, Vincent can't help you with that. Does someone go see the Dr. Svensson at the university or no?
Maybe I'll help him with the James Seymour by saying Dr. Quinn, medical woman. Wasn't that her?
Yep, I'd forgotten that.
That's
But yes,
most famous for. Yeah.
Anyways, Dr. Quinn, medicine women.
So I'm on Belle Isle with the father and Vincent.
yes,
We got the information to go talk to the Japanese,
the university professor, Dr. Svensson. Yeah.
the Japanese specialist professor. I forgot what her actual title was.
Yep. So she teaches mythology. She teaches Japanese mythology to her expertise at the college, and she's Dr. Svensson. Yeah.
Mythology.
Yep.
You, Father. I keep wanting to say Father Oaken. Father
Oaken, just mix them together.
What's it? Why Murphy? God, sorry about that.
Yeah, their name is really Murphy. It's his actual name.
Father Murphy. Do you want to go to the university with us? We got a cybernetic Vincent.
Certainly, I'm on my way.
Well, I guess
I gotta finish I just finished the Eucharist at St. Patrick's, and I'm there with you now.
I guess if we're a super team of 3, then I guess we're all going to go talk to as a group.
Okay.
This is gonna be interesting watching these 3 walk through the door.
So you get a certain amount of kind of micro paparazzi. People are snapping your pictures because
Micro paparazzi. I
Sure,
gotta write all these terms down.
you get a certain amount of micro paparazzi as people are snapping your pictures and they're watching what's going on and all of that.
Micro paparazzi spelunkers. How many catchphrases can we come up with in one night?
I don't know, man. That was going to hurt my head.
You're going to have a book.
You find your way to Dr. Svensson's office at the university, and she has all of these Japanese art and calligraphy, all this stuff hanging around, a number of books, including some of which she has written on the topic of Japanese mythology.
Yeah, it reminds me of Jay's room.
Jay's room seems to be just covered in game books.
Pretty nice, isn't it? Nice space to be. That's all I got to say.
Mine's full of hats. I hear you.
Yep, you're comfortable.
Well, it's hat night.
So you guys talk to Dr. Svensson? I mean,
I was waiting for Vincent to step up. No.
This is not Vincent's game.
Talk to himself.
What am I supposed to ask him?
We have come across some very suspicious stuff, and we didn't know if you could help us out. I know you specialize in mythology, but we don't know if this is mythos or reality happening, but something's going on at Belle Isle.
Okay. Where you have Gift of Gab, you actually do the sequence. You actually have to do the role play interacting to get the bonus, which you're doing now, which is good. And she's like, okay. What's that?
Just like trying to get information. I'm not trying to persuade her of anything unless she becomes.
Well, it's just a conversation at this point. Yeah. So she's like, okay, well, what do you see happening? Tell me so you tell her about the demon and all that?
First off, we pulled out 2 crustaceans that upon further analysis, and I explained the whole extinct species from Japan thing, which that's already suspicious. But then Victor, show her what you picked up last night and show her the picture of the.
Okay.
Vincent, not Victor.
Right. So Vincent makes it appear on her monitor screen. And she's like, how did you do that? Never mind. She's like, and she's surprised to say the least and says, yes, that's a picture of a Tahine. Um, they're. Have you ever seen the movie Spirited Away?
Yes.
It was a relatively famous movie a number of years ago where there's a corrupt river spirit. And really, it was a popular movie. A lot of people have seen it. It was about a river spirit trying to clean the river, and it runs afoul of the characters in the story. This is an image that's a rather dark one of a river spirit, the kind of thing that gets into the story. The image is about how modern society is ruining resources and all of this, right? So what they're doing is copy image. So the river spirit is essentially a lesson that is taught. So if they're that's about not polluting things, right? It's often seen in these parables and in these tales that they are what makes the river cleaner. This is what makes the water cleaner, and they're fighting against industrialization, and they're very much all about the parable and the story of you should stay close to nature and not build auto plants. Now, there's any number of stories about them doing favors for people, having interactions with people, and there's any number of times you catch them speaking Japanese and some of the other Asian languages, but they're the idea of how one would get to a river in Detroit, I have no idea.
Well, this isn't mythology. The image is, this isn't CGI. This is an actual real picture.
Look, I get that you super types run into crazy things. I can only tell you about what we know. And of course, anything mythological could quite possibly have a root in reality. I'm saying that this is an image of a Tahin, of a river spirit, and that they tend to be very anti-industrial. So if you're seeing people that are disappearing, what's the chance the people that are disappearing were all polluting at the time?
Yeah, that's what we're. Let's see. My mic. Am I still on here?
You are.
Okay. I was having issues with my mic. Yeah, that's what we picked up. That's how we got this image. Essentially, one of our teammates baited it into making an appearance. Only with solid waste, though. We didn't throw chemicals in the water, I promise.
She's like, well, I don't know if that's any better, but good.
Well, yeah, it's better because you can fish that out.
Well, I suppose, or look, these spirits are can very much defend themselves, but you can probably negotiate it with it. You can probably talk to it, although I doubt. Where it's a Detroit River spirit, I'm guessing, I doubt that it speaks English because it seems to be Japanese. And if you're finding other Japanese forms of life, things from the estuaries and the bays, it feels like what it's doing to restore it. And this is taking mythology forward and imagining as magic. If this is somehow restoring the island, it's restoring it as what it knows. But you're talking about something deeply magical. And it's well out of the area of mythology, but that's how a river spirit like this would operate in the old stories.
Is there anything mythological about them being able to travel from different places or different times?
No, they're very much
from Japan.
They're very much tied to one location. And that's even one of the ways that you can defeat them is if you drag them out of the river, is they very quickly die because they are super location specific. They don't move around.
So we got to figure a way to drag this thing out onto the shore.
Well, that doesn't explain how it got here from Japan.
You're right.
Or why the
extinct here from Japan
are all of a sudden appearing.
Because they're being made. being made right here under our noses by somebody.
No, it's just a game.
Didn't that person you go see, weren't they trying to bring these things back? No?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's myth. There's no such. There was never an animal like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's this.
This is a mythological creature?
It is.
Oh. I thought it was something that was actually real.
Nope. I'm inventing all of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, this is the. Did you catch the reference to Spirited Away earlier? This is a river spirit that tends to be
So,
an
hold
object.
on a sec. Hold on a
Sorry?
second. Hold
Yeah.
on. All right, now I can hear you.
Okay, it's a river spirit that tends to be part of lessons that are part of stories that are an object lesson, kind of anti-industrialization. They're all about the purity of.
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah.
But they are known to interact with people, but yeah, they are super location specific. And she says it's very unlikely that it speaks English.
Has there been any reported sightings of entropy in the last 6 months anywhere in the United States?
Of entropy?
Entropy, yeah, he was an eco-terrorist.
Oh, Jesus, sorry. I thought you meant that in a literal sense of the word. I'm like, are things moving towards chaos and the universe is ending?
Yes, of course it is, Mike. Where have you been?
Not a question I anticipated, Jay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no.
So, not related to the eco-terrorist entropy.
Okay, he hasn't been cited. Okay, just that.
But the river spirit is a mythological Japanese creature.
It is.
Yeah.
But the crustaceans were actually living beings on this planet at one time.
Yes.
They're not mythological, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So is there any rabid Japanese environmental activists with a lot of money and doing research in the city?
There is not a major Japanese. Dr. Svensson tells you that the Asian studies is something she teaches, and there's maybe 2-3 other people, but she's the big expert, and there is not a lot of Asian studies or Asian interests here. There's shipping interests, but that's all about shipping.
Do I have any reason to suspect her? I guess is what I'm saying.
What is your intelligence and will?
My intelligence is 6, will is 4.
Roll me 2 dice. You need a 13.
I'm going to spend hero points.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 5. That just goes straight onto my roll.
No, the other way. So you have a 6. That'll take. Would you say 6 and 5 was your intelligence and will?
6 and 4. 6 and 4.
And 4. So that is going to make that roll majorly easier for you. I believe you have to roll a 5 at this point.
Okay. So what did I say? I'm spending 5.
Yep.
Okay. So now I'm down to 88, and I'm rolling.
Oh yeah. Next time I'm doing this with the other screen, so I can leave all my docs up.
Oh, good. I got an 8.
Okay.
Just trying to somehow try to clear her out of my.
Yeah,
list.
she is an expert on the topic. No, there's no supervillainy things about her. She's literally just a university professor, married to another professor, not living above her means, has no secret origin.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Eliminated that for 5 hero points. Well, money well spent.
And she says there are people that have made bonds and bargains with it. And maybe you want to try and talk to it.
Does that mean we got to speak Japanese? It tried to reach us with its mind, but none of us are a telepath. We don't have a telepath. We don't know one, do we?
Nope, no telepaths. It is strange, though. I don't often get this kind of conversation. Get this kind of questions. And just recently, I had somebody else asking me about this.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who might that be?
And she's like, he's another local. He doesn't live out in the island, but he's been around for years. His name is Manny Sheffield.
Manny Sheffield. And what does Manny Sheffield do?
You've never heard of him, but I mean, you can go Google him and all that.
Okay, yeah. Either way, I'm either asking the person directly, but obviously, yes. Anytime I get a chance to sit in my high-end department in downtown and sip some scotch and Google shit, I'm totally doing that.
Okay.
After a brief, intense workout in my private gym and a quick shower. That's
Do you have any other questions for the professor?
No, I don't.
You guys have any other questions for the professor?
Not if no. I mean, if we feel that she's been forthcoming and helpful, and this is all we got.
Okay.
I'm starting to see Black Raven a lot in like a towel, leaning over, like with the scotch, and it's just getting out of the shower. Phones are ringing. Blackberries are going off.
Blackberries. Oh my God! What year is he living in?
Danny Rand. I'm channeling Danny Rand. Didn't they do Blackberries? I don't know.
Oh, I do love Iron Fist.
I do too. God, I love me a Danny Rand. Sorry, Mike. I had you muted. You were talking to.
Thank God
You were
for that.
You were talking to someone, and it was over talking us, so I had you muted.
Yeah, my neighbor knocked on my door. I had to go.
Yeah.
Receive.
So now you're unmuted again.
Yeah, just let her know that if anything comes up, if anybody comes to ask you about this, if anybody brings up any more questions involving what we're talking to you about, don't tell them we talked to you, and please make sure you let us know who it is and what they asked you.
She shakes her head and she says, I'm not withholding anything from anybody. If somebody asks about you, I'm going to tell them the same way I told you that this Mr. Sheffield was looking for this.
Now, this is where the persuasion is going to come in, because I cannot express to you how important it is that we get to the bottom of this. We don't want to hurt that creature, and we don't want anyone else hurting that creature. We're investigating for the protection of the humans here and of the creature. If anybody else asks you any questions, they might not be up to the same good that we're trying to do. There may be some bad guys involved in this. We need to know who else is investigating this. Please contact us. Do you understand?
Make me a roll.
Oh, spade.
Blah, 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 blah. 15. Charisma 6.
Yeah, fine. She's like, look, I followed your career for years out of Chicago. I know you're trying to do some good here, and I'll be able to keep this to myself for a while, but don't ask me to do things like this in the future.
All right.
Information is power. I'm not in the business of keeping people from it.
Idealist.
Okay. Where to next, Raven?
Didn't we come up with a name?
Yep. Manny Sheffield?
Yeah, I was looking up Manny Sheffield.
Um,
Any background before I go approach this person. I'm going to go talk to Manny Sheffield after I prep myself. I know who this cat is. They are what they do.
Manny, you find it's kind of an old school name. You know what I mean? And you find a couple of references of Manuel and all that, but you only find one who uses the name Manny, and he's a boxing instructor from the old port area. Like, you don't find anybody that feels university or feels policey or all that. And there's a couple of Manuels, but Manny Sheffield is a very old style name, and it's weird to get to line up to anything. But you manage to get just, quick and dirty, get his picture, show it to the Dr. Swenson, whatever I named her. And she's like, yeah, that's the guy who was asking. And yeah, he's a 40-something-year-old boxing instructor from a gym downtown.
Great. Fucking Black Raven's just going to go down in a civvies looking for a nice workout. Good sparring partner. Going to get Manny in a sparring and thing and start. That's going to be where I'm going to start firing questions about the crustacean at him. As we're, doing the thing as we're going around each other like this. So, what do you know about Japanese crustaceans? Pop, 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 pop!
Well,
No, and all in a friendly, competitive way. That's going to be my
well, I
approach.
offer my services to be the referee of this fight.
Okay. Guardian, you going down to the gym with them, or do you have a separate agenda?
No, we're staying together.
Okay.
I have to witness the mayhem.
Okay. So, yep,
Now
this
we're
is
getting some.
This is an old-style boxing gym. It makes you think of either Antonio Dawson from PD or Rocky, depending on who your mythology is. And
Rocky.
Yep,
Rocky.
there's a lot going on, and there's people at the gym and all this. There's fighters. There's people skipping rope. There's kickboxing ring. It's definitely an old building, but it feels prosperous. It's like the old waterfront area. It's got that very much old family feel.
Okay, I'm going to go ask around looking for Manny.
Okay. And you're dressed up as in your
Elliot Ravenclaw. Yeah.
Okay.
Just in, but in some really nice, like, Lululemon boxing attire.
I had a friend give me some Lululemon gloves. You could see my knuckles right through them.
Yeah. Maybe Under Armour. I'm just trying to think of what the rich people
right.
are wearing for sparring gear.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, some Elliot Ravencroft, 2 times, martial art champion, blah blah blah,
Elliot,
and a little
is
bit
that the name?
competitive.
Okay.
And I'm looking for a good challenge, and I hear you're, you're one of the best, and I need a good workout. And being Mr. Elliot Ravencroft, I'm also obviously willing to pay for a private lesson, if you would, private session right now.
So, interestingly enough, when you walk in, Manny Sheffield is there waiting for you.
Nice.
And he says, Mr. Black Ravenclaw.
Mr. Black Ravenclaw?
Which is what he says.
Elliot Ravencroft.
So he's saying he knows my secret identity is what he's saying right out of the gate?
It's a question. It's a possibility.
Okay. Well, my pitch is still the same.
Okay. And he says, there's a lot of good fighters in the gym. And although I don't know anyone who's in your league, most of these guys don't fight crustaceans.
Okay. Well, so he knows what I'm asking. I'm just going to go at it. What do you know about the crustaceans? Let's skip through the bullshit then. You already seem to know what I'm here for.
And he says, I don't think you know what you're here for. And he goes over and he shakes Guardian's hand.
Oh, good. Someone's got an angle.
And he says, been waiting to see you too, but you also don't know why you're here.
I'm on high alert and dodging anything that's coming at me. By the way,
He's not throwing anything. He's not punching you. None of those things.
I'm just accepting the fact that he knows that we don't know what we
dodging.
need, and he's going to tell us. So I'm just going to relax.
And he says, Father, you're the interesting one.
Yeah, certainly is.
You don't know the half of it, brother.
Yeah.
Well, besides the fact you're drunk, belligerent, and looking for fights, you seem to have actually tapped into the powers of the early church.
Ooh.
Is there
It
a
is
boxing ring
Oh, yeah.
in this room?
There's 2 boxing rings. One's a kick fighting and one's an actual traditional boxing ring.
Okay. Ravencroft is absent for the moment.
No, I'm right here. I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I got a
All right.
Bluetooth headphone set, dude.
I'm going to put my hand on Ravenscroft's shoulder and say, take my leave of you, son. I got this. And I'm going to step into the boxing ring, say, who's next? Watch, I'll teach you how it's done.
Father Murphy's got this.
Okay.
I got this. And who is going to enter the ring with Father Murphy?
So Manny steps up in there and he takes off this big oversized smock, and for a man in his 40s, he is ripped as hell.
That's okay. I got backup. I ain't worried.
And he's
One of the benefits of wearing a helmet all the time is nobody can see my facial expressions.
right.
You're wearing a helmet all the time?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Okay.
Damn, you must be ugly.
Yeah. Do you have an image of your character yet?
Oh yeah, we've seen the image of his character.
3 generations.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's like in Best Fiends when you grow up from level to level from.
Exactly.
So you don't have a civilian outfit?
He's always been in his super suit.
Always.
That's a secret. That's the point of a secret identity.
You can do things as Peter Parker even if you have a secret identity, but I hear your point. Okay,
Yeah.
You step in the ring, and yeah, this is a big, tough-looking guy, and he takes his shirt off, and he's like, "Sure, Father, I'm interested in what you have to say." I says, "How about this?" He says, "The winner of the match has to tell the truth."
Well, I'll give you 3 rounds. My boxer is 4.
Yep. And he
I'm
says,
putting
"Wait."
them up- and
He
I'm
says, "The
putting
winner
my-
of the match tells the truth."
Oh, certainly.
And he says, "Your word as a priest, Father?"
You have my word. You
Okay.
will know the truth.
What's your initiative?
By the end of 3 rounds, you will see the truth.
Roll me an
The
initiative.
truth. And I put my force shield up.
Okay.
My force shield is an 8.
Which means
My
you have to be
versa.
carrying the Bible.
No.
Okay.
I don't need to carry it.
Okay.
No, that's just a prop. The Bible
Okay.
is just a prop. No,
You
my
put up the
force
force-
shield's built in.
Okay. His
My
initiative
martial arts
is
4.
Yep. His initiative is 25.
So he's gonna beat me. My initiative is 14. Unless I haven't had a drink, it goes down by 2. So I got a 2, so 16.
16. Okay.
I always take the last punch anyways, you know.
Yep.
That's
What
how
is
I got
your-
it figured out.
Yep. What is your your martial arts is 4. What is your
My
Your-
force shield is 8.
Yep, I know. I know. What's your dex, strength, and body?
My dex is 6.
Yep. Your strength is
4.
Yep, and your body?
8.
That's right. You're almost indestructible. Okay. So 13. This guy is apparently a very trained fighter. Force shield is up. God. Okay, so he just reached out and crack, and you could tell that was going right dead center in the bread basket, stopped by the force shield. What's your action?
All right, I'm gonna hit him.
Okay.
It's gonna be a fake with a left uppercut and a right jab to the nose.
Okay.
My martial arts is 4, and I rolled a 13.
4, roll of a 13. You do not hit him as he sways backwards out of the way.
Oh.
But he's smiling at you after the force shield thing and says, man, you kiss on the first date, don't you? So he jumps straight up 15, 18 feet to come down behind your force field with a descending power fist. He jumps way straight up. And he's trying to go around your force shield.
My force shield's 360, dude.
No, that's a force field. A force shield is one-sided.
Oh,
You recall
Must
Metal
have
has a
that
force
one.
shield. It's one of her problems. You take 2 points of body damage as he gets around your shield and just cracks you one on the top of the head.
All right.
You are tough like an armored vehicle in this, but yeah, you don't see people that can do this a lot. This is not normal.
Impressive. But the power of Christ will compel you.
His initiative is a 27 for the next phase.
What movie is that?
Oh, I don't even need to roll. He's going to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, my initiative's 15.
Okay. Total of
I
21.
always punch last.
So he doesn't get behind the force shield again, but he cracks your force shield one. Your resistance is still 16, which is huge. You take a third point of damage. You take 3 total points of body damage, which means this guy hit you hard enough that he would have damaged an armored vehicle. It's not because he's super strong. This guy is one hell of a Bruce Lee level fighter.
All right. So you said I took more body?
You have a total of 3. You've taken a total of 3 damage from fighting this guy.
Yeah, that comes from off your
Currently,
body.
I have my body at 6.
So now it's 3.
No, hang on. Totally. Currently, your body is now at 5 because you've taken 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me redo that. Yep.
Yeah, but your resistance is still gigantically high.
Yeah.
Black Raven and Guardian, you see the stunt where this guy jumps 15 feet straight up. But yeah, he is a fighter amongst the highest and best you've ever seen.
Well, then that needs to have Elliot get involved because I cannot resist.
No, stand back. I got this.
Whatever he says, I don't even care. But because I'm an athletic pro and martial artist, I am not going to pass up a fight in front of me.
So, your action, Father.
Well, tell you what I'm going to do.
The guy says to you, Guardian, he said, did the priest not realize that this guy has 2 Olympic silver medals in boxing?
Oh, and I thought it was supposed to be a boxing match, not a super fight.
Well,
all the rules went out the window when the force shield went up.
Yeah, pretty much. When the force shield went up, this guy is dancing around and popping Father Murphy. I'm in. I'm climbing into the ring, as I said.
It's my attack.
Yep.
I'm going to use my magic blast and spend, what do you say, 3 hero points.
Your blast is at 8?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you can spend 3. Wow.
And I'll spend 3.
Okay.
What's the name of our group, guys? We've taken over or replaced what? The Guardian, the Detroit 5?
The Chaotic 4.
We're the Detroit 4 now? Or did the Game Master, did the press have a name for us yet?
The press has messed around with a number of names. They've only been not particularly complimentary because you guys have been a lot of fumbling around. But yeah, you got the Detroit 4, the new 4, all of that.
The new 4.
The cult of St. Patrick's.
I'm secular. We're not. This is not D&D where we're following our cleric into battle.
You kind of are actually. Roll me 2
I
dice.
know, but we're trying to get let's liberal this up a little bit.
I haven't used my magic blast yet, and I believe magic blast does damage on spirit.
Yep, it goes it's against influence and spirit and not dex and body. Yeah, you're absolutely bypassing this man's immense martial arts skills.
Yep, exactly. That's my ace in the hole. See?
Okay.
My magic blast is 8, and I'm going to spend 3 hero points.
Yep, takes it to 11.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, you do this whole Mortal Kombat thing. You throw out the blast. You hit Manny, and he drops over like he is poleaxed. You drop him in a single hit.
Nice.
Told you. Why don't
The
you
guys in the
listen?
gym are all sitting around like, what the hell was that? I don't know. And like, what the hell was that? I don't know. And like, a whole lot of people climbing in the ring. Things are going on.
Ravencroft, the ring is yours. I step
Well-
out of the ring and back away.
I got no one to talk to now. He's unconscious.
I sit back and watch some more. This, whatever's about to happen, the father caused. So
Yeah.
The gym guys are all aghast at this. They've never seen anybody drop Manny.
I wanted to talk to Manny. He's unconscious, so I guess I'm waiting an hour.
Okay. You guys can definitely wait around for the recovery check time. And there's some medic types. They're like, I don't even know what happened. He doesn't have a bruise on him. But he does get a recovery check, and you catch up with him in his office about an hour and a half later, where, he was dropped over by a gigantic magic blast. And he's getting out of bed. He's getting up off his couch, and he's like, I don't even know what hit me.
what? I watched the whole thing, and that was not a boxing match, guys. If you ever want to actually have a real boxing match, that might be entertaining to watch.
Yeah, that was a one-sided beatdown.
Got
Well.
the job done, didn't it?
Looks like I owe you guys some truth, doesn't it?
Yes. Thanks to the powers of Father Murphy.
Let's start again, Mr. Ravencroft. Father Murphy. Whatever.
And what were
Do
you?
they just call you Guardian in conversation? I mean, what do they call you at lunch? Guardian, can you pass the chicken?
I don't eat.
Yeah, he's not invited to lunch.
Right.
Sustenance is for the mortals.
The mere
That's a knee
mortals.
slapper.
I have to build a false reputation.
Vincent goes over, shakes his hand. He says, I'm a big fan of your work, man. I've got all the videos. And he's like, thanks. He says, somehow I wished I'd fought you. I don't even know what hit me.
So what were you talking to the Japanese mythos professor about? Why did you go talk to her?
Because I think that the river monster knows more about the gangs going in and out of this town than anybody else. And I think some of the kids have been antagonizing it, no matter how much I've been trying to get them to stop over the years.
Huh.
And I know for a fact that, darn it, where's my word? I know for a fact that Mojo has executed people that way before by setting them up to run afoul of the river creature.
You said for years. So people have known about this for years?
I've known about him for 12. I think we've been trying to stop a lot, but you'll find most of the people that have gone missing are not good people. I am so sorry to hear about that little boy. I've tried to keep the kids out of there for years.
So I'm hearing Mojo is not a good person.
Mojo did what he could. We had a lot of trouble with
the monster.
We had a lot of trouble with the gangs. We had a lot of very serious gangs. When we could put people in jail, we did. Some people were just too much, and they had to be done away with. And Mojo would feed them to the river monster.
That's fucked up. Okay, that's not heroic.
And he says, "This is Detroit, brother. We do what we can." You could take it up with the 4 pieces of Mojo's torso they found after the explosion.
It's not.
I barely escaped myself.
It's not about being a hero. It's about helping the needy.
And he says, "You have a sucker punch like nothing I've ever seen, but you are so right. It is about helping the people who can't help themselves. Just don't ever do that again. And he says, you figured it out yet, guys?
Catch me on a bad day.
Figured it out. Now I got you've given me more questions than answers.
Goliath took an anti-aircraft gun center chest. I didn't think anything made by mankind that wasn't launched out of a jet fighter could even damage him. The reason I survived is I literally was behind him when Goliath exploded.
So he was there when they went missing?
I was there when they were murdered.
Oh, who murdered them? Because the rest of the world says that they're missing, right?
Well,
so he's the only one that knows. All of a sudden, he's the only one that knows that they've been murdered.
well, the question about they found that they were dead, right? But they never found all the bodies because it was a major dust up. And he says that was gangland. That was where we got too close to several of the gangs. And there's a gang leader called Claustrophobia. She got together several of these different gang fronts, and they ambushed us.
So Manny was part of the group.
My name is Jax. They call me Jax.
You're Jax of the group. Okay.
And he just shrinks down to the size of a field mouse while you're sitting there talking to him.
Ha ha ha, Jax, I got it. That's nice. Very nice, very nice.
And then kind of grows back up again, and he says, I've lived in this town, I've grown up in this town, and I've always defended this town. But Claustrophobia managed to get a hit team of these gangsters together that came in with full military hardware, got right past the police, got right past everything, walked in here, and I literally have no idea we can trust. I don't know if we can trust the Improvement Society. We know we can't trust the police.
But
And
we got to find Claustrophobia then, right? That's our number one target. We got to go bring that.
And he says, well, the river creature didn't care much for you.
Well, that doesn't seem to be our concern at this point, does it?
You guys seem sloppy. You seem careless. I don't know what you're about, but you do throw around a lot of you do throw around a lot of kind of random actions. The gangs here own this city. Invictus either owns the gangs or the gangs own him. And I have no doubt at all that the mayor was at least passively involved in the betraying of the Five.
So the mayor is hooked up with Claustrophobia. The mayor will know what Claustrophobia is. Want to make a scary interrogation of the mayor at his home in the middle of the night?
The mayor is probably the toughest super in the setting.
Oh, I didn't know the mayor was a super. Okay, definitely.
So the mayor is the reformed supervillain, Lou Invictus. Invictus, I think it was Invictus.
Okay.
Yeah, he changed his last name legally to Invictus, and he's essentially the character from Savage Dragon.
Oh, gotcha.
He ran for mayor and won, but he's probably the toughest person in the entire setting.
Oh, well, if he's hooked up with Claustrophobia, that's going to be a problem.
So the Five were getting too close to something, and I don't know what it was. We had a lot of things going on. And the night that all my friends were killed, a lot of our records were destroyed, were purged, they were gone. And we don't know why.
So you were the sole survivor?
I am.
And is he underground, like he's incognito, or is it known that he's around?
Oh no, he's definitely been in hiding. Everyone thinks he's dead.
Okay.
This is his secret identity. You've come into a secret identity shop.
That's gotcha. Good to know. So we don't want to blow it for him, for sure.
So yes,
if you've known about this creature in the river for 12 years, there's no way that the city can't fence this thing off, maybe get some guards out there. That little boy should have never been in that situation in the first place.
And he says, Guardian, I've seen your work. You've been at this almost as long as I have, maybe longer. You save the ones you can. If someone hadn't blown the hell out of all my buddies, Maker lived out there. Not Maker, excuse me. Demo lived out there. He was homeless. Demo kept people out of the way, and he did everything he could to keep people. We didn't keep everyone out, and it's generally only when someone does something pretty egregious to pollute the river that the creature comes out. But Demo did everything he could to get people away. We just didn't win every battle.
You can't be with the one you love the one you with.
Yep, Superman can't be everywhere.
But Father Murphy can.
Yes.
He just got to walk there.
Yeah.
The river creature is like a force of nature. He's like gravity. He's like a storm. And the gangs tend to avoid his tiny little section of the river. We were kind of hoping that we could have some live and let live action going on and basically could clean things up and get them better.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen until claustrophobia is taken out. Nothing's getting better.
Well, I'm going to say that I didn't have what it takes to be here in battle. I couldn't even tell you what she looks like. But your friend there with the father with the killer sucker punch, that might be what it takes to remove her from play. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Do you know where headquarters are?
She's not even in town most of the time.
Ah.
She's a 21st century gang leader.
Okay. Remote. And do we call this person claustrophobia? Do we have a name, no name of the person?
No, but it said that she looks like a marketing director or a real estate agent. She does not look super villainy at all. And that it's a woman in her 30s, although no one seems to have pictures.
Okay.
So you guys weirdly maneuvered your way around all the fights. There was supposed to be a couple of fights here, and you guys went all the way around them, so we didn't get any combat this game.
No, we've got in touch with Manny, which seems pretty important.
Sure.
And this is a good place to stop, is it not?
Father Murphy's been duking it out with homeless people and gym rats.
You guys were afraid to go in the water. Oh my God, I had a monster in the water for you to fight, and you were.
I wasn't afraid to go in the water. I went right in there, right looking for it.
And then he blessed the river and ended the battle.
Yep, that was pretty fabulous.
So you guys
I'm willing to go back there and fight it right now.
Is there a reason to fight it? I'm starting to wonder whether there's a reason to fight it.
Random combat. Let's go. Let's see what happens.
Found these at Walmart at like clearance, 50 cents. Remind me of that term, what you call blue booking.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's only, each one of these is only 30 pages, which is pretty good. It's good for, like, here's the record for Black Raven. Here's something for something else, you know? Because it's always, you get a notebook, and generally sometimes it's just bigger than for what you need it.
Yeah, it takes you a year to fill out all the pages. You have individual journals.
Yeah,
record whatever project you're working on.
And I mean, at 50 cents in the clearance rack, it just seemed like a no-brainer. So here we go, Black Raven, Racer City. This is
so you guys didn't resolve any of the things the way I was planning on you resolving them. So we went around some of the things I had set up for you. Sorry about that.
No, it's
so
probably more like us because we can't. We're not really good at following breadcrumbs or putting things together.
Just killed the monstrosity.
I'm gonna say that you guys, you followed every red herring and missed the trail like 4 times.
You know, that was just like when I was at Genghis Khan in Denver playing the Blade Runner game.
Yep.
The game master was like, "You guys," and not the other player. There's a third player. She was on her own tangent or whatever, trying to figure out if she was real or not. But like me, the other guy that was a cop, we were like, the game master was like, you guys were so fucking far off of everything. We were like, oh, the zombies are going to be invading the city. They're going to break the city wall. They're going to come in droves. He's like, no, that's not it at all. Okay.
Well, to tell you the truth, I expected Black Raven and his Batman persona to lead us in the right direction.
I did.
Yes, you did. In the water. Yeah.
No, I also dug up Manny.
There was a fight with the river monster that you guys just kind of, I don't know, kept of. You guys failed perception checks. People were afraid to go get their feet wet. It was just very odd. You guys never had the fight with the river monster that I had planned.
I tried, but the river monster fried my brain, didn't he? It made me run away.
Uh-huh.
Other than Namor and Aquaman and various other lower level aquatic characters in stories, in role playing games, has anybody ever known somebody who's made a aquatic character?
Well, no, but
Super Frog.
Because you know what I mean. Because most games are. People would be like, well, I'm going to be running around downtown. That's not going to be helpful. So people don't want to make an aquatic character.
Oh, well, for sure, right? And I'm not. This isn't anything that's would be a major underwater sequence. But you guys just didn't go get dirty with them. No one wanted to get. I mean, yes, Black Raven went out for a swim, but
what was the name of that?
I just mean, if I would have made one, then yes, I would have ran and dove in without thinking twice. But under the Guardian's situation, he was ready to defend from an amphibious assault. I didn't want to get into their
Looked like it was just one of them, it seems.
Yep. Well, you guys are kind of decision averse. I like the Father Murphy's I'm gonna run in and punch someone. I have a whole lot of kind of religious overtone stuff I'm adding to this because I like the way Father Murphy plays it, but you guys just get analysis paralysis so severely.
That's why I leave it alone and stop talking. I'm waiting for the other guys to figure it out. That's not my job.
Well, I think you all think it's not your job to figure it out because everyone's waiting for someone else to do the puzzling. Someone's got to do the puzzling, guys.
Yeah, what was the name of the guy I beat up in the boxing ring?
Manny Sheffield. He's the superhero known as Jax.
Jax. So I beat up Jax. I'm writing it down.
Yep, and he was one of the Detroit Five. He's the surviving member of it.
Yeah, the martial artist.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. I'm just writing it down that I kicked his ass.
All the major pieces are on the board, and the next thing is going to be back into some of the gangy things. But, I mean, it's like I said, I do an investigation-heavy kind of game that you have to follow the breadcrumbs, and you guys are doing a pretty rough job of following the breadcrumbs.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree.
Well, that's the job of the detective/leader of the group.
So
no, and everything is not going to be a die roll. We got to figure something out. We got to put
absolutely right
together and put something together.
So it's going to take me a little time to put together the next piece of this because you just took things off in some other directions. But yeah, it's not all about die rolls. It's about how do you follow up leads and all that. This is more of a Batman story than a Justice League story. And if we want to play this, because I'm enjoying this game and the setting and all this, but yeah, you guys are doing a lot of wandering around blind.
Yeah, Guardian, Brother Murphy. Who are we supposed to be going after?
I will say Black Raven is stuck in his own mythology a little bit. I'm gonna, I'm gonna go put on a suit and drink a whiskey and all that.
Well, it's something to do.
Well, sure. There's a story here, and instead of poking at it, you're kind of stuck in your spaces, man. So, I'm saying if we want to do this one, because I'm into it, it's a good game, and I'm having fun. Is you're all waiting for someone else to do the investigating, and no one's doing it.
I don't even know who I would talk to next.
No,
it's okay. I'll set up some things for next.
Everything is at the island.
A lot's at the island. You ignored the fact that the
Ignored
Vatican
the
did an
island.
investigation here, shot right past that. I didn't see picking a fight with the homeless people. That was a bit odd. You guys never went back and talked to the Improvement Society guy. You guys never investigated the 2 spelunkers that went missing. Like, I dropped a bunch of clues on you that you're like, yeah, whatever.
Well, the Spelunkers were in Boston, were from Boston, so I didn't really see how that was going to be fruitful. It just seemed that that was another bit of information that people were getting snatched indiscriminately. To me.
But it wasn't indiscriminate, right? That was one of the points. And if you'd have looked into them, you'd have found out that they did some drunken stupid shit.
And then I took you away from your boxing match you were so willing to do.
The boxing match was funny. Because I'm like, guys, if this isn't working for you, I get it. But man, I feel like I dropped a pile of clues on you no one was following.
Well, Manny seemed to know more about what we were doing than I did. So I thought you just needed to talk.
Well, that's okay. You got Manny talking, and that was cool.
We had to get all that out.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad we know that one of them survived. I thought
Guardian, Father Murphy, do you know who we should be focusing in on?
Whom?
No, I'm asking. I need help. I'm trying to figure it out.
Let me look again.
For the
what do you call it? Comatose or something?
Claustrophobia. Yep. She's a little bit in the background, although she is who bushwhacked Vincent in the first one when he disappeared and he wasn't sure what happened.
And then there's the kids, Tatiana and Edwin.
Yeah, I don't even know who these people are. I have no clue who these people are. These are kids. These are 2 kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how are they useful to us?
Tatiana was the girl who came in and said, my brother's missing. And that the old heroes only cared about, rich white people with Instagram hits. And that
she was hoping
that the priest would help poor Catholic kids.
We went down to the beach. We bought a crustacean.
It's funny because the name Edwin is the electrical engineer at my work, who I do not get along with particularly well.
He was eating, so it's okay.
Crustacean. I can go rent a boat. We'll get a big frickin' net, and we'll go catch this crustacean.
So the lobstrosities.
He drives an electric car, and he's got a 40-year-old virgin complex. But that ain't got nothing to do with personality. So
we'll drag it on the beach. Let it suffocate and die, and we'll get pictures of us all there looking, the new 3.
I wonder if the river
the
spirit,
Detroit Loch Ness Monster.
Wonder if the river spirit's not just agitated by people polluting, but when people take out sea creatures and take them to flavor specialists.
There was also Mr. O'Shaughnessy.
Yep.
And who is this person? What do they do? There's a lot of names going around.
Mr. O'Shaughnessy was the guy, the foreman that you you took the gangsters off his back in the opening episode, and he said, "No, these guys actually are trying to help people, and that's an actual Catholic priest, and he's going to try and help you." So, you definitely have a gang problem. You have some idea who the gangsters are. You definitely ran into the magical piece of this with the river spirit. And you found out there's a surviving member of the Detroit 5 who said all the gangs basically got together to eliminate them. So the next thing I wanted to do was give you something that was more back at changing the gangsters, like the people on the boat. But
yeah,
who's smuggling, why smuggling, who's making money, all of that. And you can definitely, there's going to be some punch up with gangsters coming in. Don't get me wrong.
They're doing.
Well, here's the thing. Do we care what they're doing? We are on a mission. like let's talk about like Ulysses S. Grant. I don't care what the enemy's doing out of my sight. We're going for them, right? Instead of worrying about what they're doing, shouldn't we just go right at the gangs?
Well, the urban spelunking is tied into the river.
Yep.
So they're underground on the island and have underwater entrances going into caves.
Yeah. Well, that's why I went swimming to see if I could find
thing.
that.
Yep, you found definitely no evidence of caves. You found no evidence of portals. There is no evidence at all of underwater caves or facilities.
There's no
evidence at all.
time travel going
There's
on.
No time travel. There's no dimension warping. I'm going to say that always gets me one of those fun things with gaming is I'm like, oh, okay, so something happened. Oh, man, is that an alternate future version? I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's not it's not that complicated.
Yeah.
But why people are doing what they're doing is kind of the point, right? You have an enemy to fight, but if you don't know why they're doing it, you don't know who you're fighting with.
No, I just care to stop them, right? Doesn't matter what they're doing. Punch them, cuff them, bag them, stick them in a cell.
It's not very Batman of you. That's not very investigative.
I know, but it does solve a problem. But if this all goes back to the gangs, let's start chewing through gangs and getting up closer to the hierarchy.
Yep.
Keep wrecking their shit.
I can go to the soup kitchen and find out.
Or we can start wrecking their stuff until make them come to us.
Last time the heroes had them come to the villains come to them, 4 out of 5 were killed with a full military firepower strike.
Okay, well then we go straight at them first. Don't even warn them.
You can definitely try and roll your way up the gangs too, but there is going to be a question that you need to be concerned with at some point. Why they're doing what they're doing. And if it's just kind of like, I want to punch who's in front of me, you guys are not going to enjoy this setting. This is a complex plot. There's politics. There's things happening in it. And if you're just looking for a big punch me up, there's a lot more than that here. There's a lot of punch me ups. There's a lot of shooting people. But why things are happening is kind of important. And if that doesn't work for you guys, I can close the setting down. But this is not I don't know. You tell me what works for you, right?
We just need what we're going to do next.
Yep. And I will mess with that over the next couple. Of days.
I'm asking my other players. It sounds like you two don't know what to do next either. Am I right? We all just looking at each other confused. Is that a correct assessment?
The river spirits and extinct Japanese species being found in Detroit has still got my head swimming. So if you want to focus on thugs, trust me, I'm right there with you. That's more my speed. This magical stuff is kind of confusing me.
Well, then here's my proposal is we rent a boat and we get some big nets and some experienced fishermen. And we go trawling for this creature and just scoop it up, bring it up above the surface.
Sure.
Like Jaws, like the movie Jaws. Let's go
fight that creature.
Let's go catch this thing. Why do we want to fight it? Let's catch it. What's the point of fighting?
I say rope it off and not let anyone else get near it. But if it's
what's
not
the
really
point? Why do we want to leave it in the water? Why do we want to leave it in the water?
Because it's actually making the place better.
Yes, the only good thing about the city.
Okay, well then we'll leave that thing alone.
As long as people.
Okay, then I'm back to the gangs then.
I was kind of hoping you guys would get in some form of a dialogue with the river creature. There was ways to get it to talk. It actually speaks a bunch of languages, and you guys made you made an attempt.
No, I would never assume that that the Loch Ness monster speaks. That'd be I wouldn't.
Because it had a lot of things to tell you about gang activity.
Yeah, but I'm not in a fantasy game.
You're not what now?
I'm not in a fantasy game like every creature is a magical talking creature. So I just assumed it was a monstrosity.
Well, the professor did tell you it speaks a lot of languages.
I brought giant rubber bands I was going to put on the crustacean's claws.
Yep. Well, the monstrosities are going to turn back up.
What? Yeah.
Everybody gets a pair of giant rubber bands.
All right. In a pot of boiling
That I get.
water.
That I get. That's wise. That's actually pretty smart. I like that.
So, gentlemen,
I'm willing to go after the gangs if no one else has got a better idea than me.
Well, I'll direct you at the next one, and we're going to be back towards the gangy stuff. But you just the only reason I'm banging on you is you guys really shot past the clues. Anyway, it's fun. It's always fun. Give me a minute to come up with the next piece of this, and I will talk to you guys in the next week or so.
Cool.
All right.
Sweet. Oh, he hit the ejection seat.
Yes, he did. But do you guys have any clue what's going on?
No, except for that thing in the water that we should have attacked.
Because, I mean, I agree with Mike. I don't want to sit here and stare at each other and go, what do we do next? What do we do next? What do we do next? I got better things to do than that. If we don't got a plan, if we don't got our shit together, then we shouldn't pursue this.
Well, maybe he should bring the combat to us.
We can. I mean, yeah. I mean, we can let that. We can do that. You said he just didn't give us a good chance at surviving it.
Well,
Until the rivers.
I'm willing to take that chance.
I don't. Obviously,
He just said flat out, if we're looking for a lot of fights, we're not going to enjoy this adventure.
Well,
I didn't punch a single thing. I'm not looking for a fight. I was looking to protect society. That's why I was telling everybody to get away. That's why I think the
yeah, but that's a lot of non-action. That's not interacting with the threat or the mystery. Oh, there's something. Oh, let's not interact with it. Let's leave it alone. I mean, that kind of bugs me. Let's
in
interact.
In every issue of every comic book, you got a lead, you got a fight, and you got an ending. If you have an episode or a playtime where there is no fight, it's boring.
Well, yeah, we're supposed to go through that quickly. Like if there's anything that smart that we can think of that we could do that we can describe.
I understand the intrigue. I get it.
That moves us closer to a finish.
It's entertaining.
Well, it's supposed to give us a clue on who we should confront next. But I'm losing that thread. I don't even know who to confront anymore.
But if you can't fight in an episode, it's boring.
Well, Jack.
That's all I'm saying.
Jax is.
Have you ever read a comic book that excluded a fight?
True. No, not.
That is the climax of the issue that you're reading.
Well, Jax is insinuating there. He's making us think that the mayor himself is probably the ultimate big baddie. But
we were just told that the big baddie is someone we can't take.
Yeah, I know. So
what are the point of that?
You have to work your way up to him because if you fly in, you're toast.
What's the
Especially
point?
with no evidence.
Exactly. What's the point? We have got nothing on the mayor. I mean, that's just what's the point of that?
It's not. I'm not arguing that it's a bad game.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. We just don't know what to do.
It's fun.
We, as a group, don't know what to do.
Yeah, if a kaiju crawls out of the river and just starts smashing shit, then yeah, I'll do what I can to help stop it. But I was given no reason to think that river spirit was malicious in any way. I didn't see it attack anybody or come out, so I wasn't going to dive in and start punching it in the tentacles.
I thought children disappearing was the reason that it was a dangerous thing and should be confronted. If that's just a
Well,
red
that's
herring
why.
too, then I don't even care about kids. Who cares about kids? Screw 'em. Let's
But
get
you
to the
also
mystery.
it was protecting its territory. So like a wild animal, that's why you just keep the humans and the animals apart from each other because they're not
Where
doing
does
something.
this thing even come from? Was it just made up?
That's why
Came out of someone's head, like imaginary?
I don't
Well,
know. That's why
it came from Japan, but it immigrated to the St. Lawrence Seaway and found its way to Detroit.
This thing
but
you're
it's not
talking about is a made-up imaginary thing, so it doesn't have to be anywhere. It doesn't have to
That's why
travel
I'm saying.
anywhere if it's an imaginary thing. It can just be brought into being
Well,
at
you
location.
did that when we was underground in Palmsville. It had these creepy things coming up out of the goo.
But that's why I was saying it's not just time. It's not just space coming from Japan, but it's also time because the creatures you pulled out that were in its area are no longer, they're extinct. So somehow,
I'm saying
whatever's
there's.
going on down there didn't just come from a different area. It came from a different time.
No, it didn't. It was made right here.
Then
why does it have to be coming from somewhere? Why does it have to come?
Yeah, but how does the Japanese octopus speak Scottish?
You said the crustaceans that you pulled out they're not fictional. They're actually real, but they're a creature that hasn't been on this earth for a long time.
Oh, I saw
that.
Or has ever.
I thought they said it was an extinct species. It was a real species of crustacean, but it was extinct.
No, I'm being told it's mythological. It's made up. It's fantasy, is what he said. The game master said this is a mythological, made-up thing. Correct?
The river spirit is. The crustaceans you pulled out were real creatures.
Yeah, one and the same, right? They're one and the same.
That once existed in Japan. They're a species from Japan that have been
totally
confused for a long time.
I got to tell you, I'm totally confused about that. I thought the crustacean and the river spirit are the same thing. So if they're two separate
the river spirit was a giant tentacle octopus-looking thing.
Yeah, like I said, I'm completely confused. I have no clue what's going on.
The two crustaceans you pulled out, the research said that it is an extinct species from a bay in Japan.
So
that's why
okay.
I was thinking.
Okay. That does not mean that crustacean migrated from a bay in Japan, is what I'm saying.
Well,
just because of those things being true does not mean there's any migration going on.
Apparently, we need a marine biologist.
Right? It's getting made. It's getting manufactured. Why does it have to be something that migrated? That's all I'm saying. None of this adds up to me. So,
yeah,
I'll be back next, but I got nothing to add. I'll be there and to help and support in any great ideas that you got, because I'm lost. I'm completely lost.
All right. Bye-bye.
Later, guy.
All right.